Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the brand new Octane Online Racing Simagic Spec Series for round one here at Imola. My name is Alexis Bowen, and joining me tonight is Mitch Hobbs. How are you, Mitch?
Oh, I'm good, Alexis. Welcome everyone in the chat. Looking forward to this new format. We've got here a little spec series here for the end of the year here in OR.
Yeah, something a little bit different just to end out the year. Of course, we still do have the Sprint Series now exclusively run on Thursday nights for Asia Pacific, Europe, and North America. And Europe and North America also get the Spec Series that will come in a few hours' time. But in the meantime, we have Split Yellow to get into around Imola, and the car that we have for this round is, I believe, the 2018 Nissan GTR. There it is, Godzilla himself.
Yeah, this is certainly going to be an interesting one. There is a vote on all the cars for each of the rounds, and this week at Imola we have landed upon the 2018 Nissan GTR GT3, and I must say, it's certainly going to be interesting to see. I don't think we've seen it for quite. I don't know if we've ever seen it in OR other than maybe once or twice. If we've done like an M2 series, we've seen all one make of car in a race together. So I'm certainly looking forward to this one.
Yeah, I do recall there were a few series in the past that had just one make, but this will certainly spice things up as we look at Evan Richardson in the aptly named Masochist Motorsport car. Of course, if you choose to drive the Nissan GTR in any other circumstance, you are probably a masochist, but either way.
Yeah, absolutely. There's certainly some people. Oh, that's gorgeous. Yeah, that's great. That's a great livery. I like that.
The white, blue, and the pink, you love to see it.
It's almost the colours of my keyboard. Or the RGB I have on my keyboard. Almost that.
Can I steal your keyboard?
No.
Oh.
Mine's white, purpley, pink, and green.
Oh yeah. Here is someone.
Can't wait.
Here is someone who is very used to driving the Nissan GTR. Yes. That is Lucas Burrs.
He had some very not nice things to say about the Nissan in ACC when I was talking to him the other day, but those words will stay where they were heard. But certainly looking to see Lucas up near the top. And if I've jinxed that, well then, I won't say another word.
Just looking over at chat, seems that we're having a few issues with the game sound at the moment.
Should be resolved now.
Well, we can pretend to make the noise of the Nissan. Yes, exactly. That's right. It's a bit high pitched. It sounds like a less vacuumy type Ferrari 296 almost.
I can make it louder.
Wow. Okay. Wow, that was always expected.
Burrs currently going fast with a 40.5. We have some fast drivers here. You've got Paul Brett, a few tenths behind. Stephen Ty, Daniel Adini, Matthew Herod, all very fast drivers.
Sorry, did I just hear the word Daniel Adini?
Yes.
No way. No way. The man is back. Oh, look at him.
Yep, Daniel Adini is back and firing.
The people of OR from about 2 years ago will remember this man. No offense to anyone else who raced 2 years ago and is back that I don't remember. That's on me. I just remember this man being very fast.
He was very, very fast. And now he is back properly and is looking to have a fun time, or as fun a time as you can have in the Nissan GTR.
There's a lot of Nissan GTR slander going on here, guys. I'm not sure how down I am with that.
Hey, I'm allowed to. I used to drive it in the Sprint Series. It's all good.
Yeah, Mike Crick, our broadcaster, he's not very happy. He's our Ted Kravitz for the evening. He going, Mike?
Yeah, not too bad, guys.
Stephen Ty getting very, very close to the time that Burrs put down.
Yeah, that's a 140.
Yeah, but the upsetting thing knowing is that that's Burrs' outlap, or he's not warm lap. That upsets me, and I know Stephen Ty, and I know that's definitely he's very, very quick. I tend to believe he's probably one of the more underrated drivers in the race. But yeah, that's going to be a tough one to beat. But okay, I take that back. Britty's decided to just say, well, hang on a minute.
Yeah, and that means that Sean Muller's prediction of that 40.5 sticking as the pole is now gone.
The going to be interesting to see what the rest of the times look like. That was a really good lap from Britt, just putting it there nicely. I reckon he might have a bit more time in it, doing a bit of a slide there. You can see from the wheel inputs, he's decided he's going to go back and have a quick snooze in the pits.
Not a bad idea, I suppose. Here is Stephen Tai, who is going again. It is nice seeing every car out there being a Nissan GTR. It's quite heavily underrepresented these days.
Yes, it sure is an underrepresented car. Stephen is matching time. You don't really want to see that grey delta, and he's decided he's going to come back in the pits.
Here is Adini, currently a little bit up, but has only just started his lap. So Mia Rose, she goes faster, up into P4, now 7/10 off.
Yeah, some more time here for Adini. 2/10 up, was 2/10 up, I should say. Lost a little bit of time out of the hairpin, everyone's least favourite corner on this track. Actually, I take that back. Everyone's least favourite corner is coming up through Aqua Mineral. Nice run through there. That's going to be invalid, though, I reckon.
No, that's still valid. That's still valid.
How did he pull that up? That was on the limits, I dare say. This is everyone's favourite corner. Nice use of the curb. Not too much in the exit. Very nicely done. Almost had a 40 on the cards there. Maybe you can just nail this chicane. You might have something on here. Let's have a look. Ooh, nice use of the curb. Yeah, that was a nice run. Certainly didn't lose any time. Up a couple of hundredths there. So you can hold this together, get a good exit. Maybe he's on for a 40 here.
Could potentially see that. We'll look as we come through final 3 corners at Ravazza. He's got a little bit of time there. Now, what's it like on the exit here? It's so easy to lose it on the exit, but he's managed to hold it. This, I don't think it's going to quite be a 40, but...
Oh, it was there.
It was right there, but it's going to just nudge ahead of Mia Rose.
Absolutely. And one thing we haven't mentioned yet, Alexis, and very exciting for all our races going forward. The Misano 12 Hour, I believe, was the first one. We're actually live on both YouTube and Twitch. Ooh.
Yes, it was... certainly great. Oh dear, that's a little bit quick into the pits. But yeah, so with Twitch's new multi-stream rules, we are now allowed to stream on multiple platforms, which means we'll have streams up on YouTube, Twitch, and I believe we have a few other platforms during the Misano 12 Hour. Not too sure whether we're streaming on those now.
We should be.
It's okay. We've got Twitch and YouTube, the most important ones. We've got a couple of other ones streaming on as well. But Neil here, 3.5 tenths up. I remember the Twitch OR is how I remember OR to Alexis, to be honest. That's when I remember when I started watching back in early 2019. That's what I remember, so I'm excited to see it back on Twitch.
Yeah, well, I mean, when I first joined OR, like 28, like late 2018, that was where it was, and back then you didn't even have ACC, it was just F1.
F1, yep, that's what I originally joined for, and then I think ACC had just started at that point, and now here we are, a new Spec Series, Season 15, a Sprint Series starting tomorrow, and can't wait to see how that one takes off. Herod has put in a smashing lap while we weren't looking, a 40.7 to put himself up into P4. That is absolutely cracking. He's got just under 5 minutes left now. Getting a little bit slidey on those tyres, so maybe needs to come back in. Burst has just put a 40.2. That's disgusting. That's actually revolting.
So, someone needs to give this man a ballast. Just force him on. Nice. Force him on engine map 4. We look now at Eric Scarney. Seems you are not the only one. Seems you are not the only one excited to see the Adini's back. Philippa in chat also quite excited to see.
Yes, that is Adini Pip. I can confirm that is Daniel Adini. I know. Oh, I couldn't believe it myself. Okay. Scarney just on a bit of an outlap here. Going to start his probably last qualifying laps, I dare say, with just under 4 minutes to go. See how that one plays. I can do a bit of a colder hot lap first, then get onto the more warmer tired hot laps where you'll see the times certainly come down for a lot of drivers. Dan Rama's just put it P9, 41.5. That's a very nice lap indeed, not too far behind Hignett.
Yeah, nice number 2. Gained a
Oh my
bit.
God. Yeah, I see what you mean by nice number. I was looking for your car number because I thought you were meaning that it was nice, that it was your number.
No.
No. No one will ever steal your number because you will fight them.
I mean, Connor Hind, who's a very, very fast driver, used to run the number 91.
Yeah, then he realised that you existed and was like, I am inferior. That's what happened, I think.
No.
Oh, look at the run there from Burrs. I know it's just an outlap, but
Britt's gone faster.
Oh my, wow.
40.1.
That is, yeah, that's quick.
And in this car?
Yeah, that's really fast.
Wow.
But I'm sure Burrs is more than up to the challenge here.
Certainly, and Burrs will be pushing like mad to maintain the crown of the Godzilla.
Well, he's certainly not going to be taking the crown of liveries because that livery is not ideal.
It is certainly one of the liveries of all time.
I know I used to run a similar coloured livery, but it didn't look like that.
Wow, Burrs has already gained
wow,
and a half. Wow.
Wow. Oh, lost on exit though. Might gain again. Oh my.
Oh, but Burrs is really pushing. He has taken the gloves off. Hopefully that Alcantara is doing okay. And he is really wringing the neck of this Nissan now.
Oh, that was a really good run. Lost a little bit of time, I guess, on the entry. Probably just wanted to keep it safe. Not safe for Akumina Rail, though. Absolutely sending it. That was almost a perfect run. Almost invalidates and just loses about a tenth off the time there.
Britt's gone faster.
Wow. Burrs really needs to pull something and invalid from Burrs. Saw that one coming, but wow, Britt has absolutely smashed that out. Almost a 39. That is just... Yeah, there's... Oh, what a drift. It was up too. There was a 39 on the Delta there. That's... Yeah. That's pretty quick. I'll hats off to Britt and hats off to Burrs if he can pull this one out.
I think James Bond's driving the car with that sort of time.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, like 7 thousandths off of a 39. Just unbelievable.
Man, I knew we had some wicked drivers in OR, but this is insane.
Indeed it is. There's a few drivers that have already given in. Stephen Ty and Daniel Adini are back in the pits as we see Burrs, who is again a tenth and a half up, going through the first sector split.
Oh, wow. There's the 39. He's absolutely sending this. It's his final laps. He's got to go for it. There was the 39. He's still got it on the Delta. Can he pull this out? Still 2/3 of the lap to go. Oh, I've got my popcorn out for this one. This is good. I like this. Don't send it too hard. Oh, and he did. Oh my goodness.
He stayed in.
That is... Oh, oh my goodness. And again, that is butt-clenchingly close. And he's lost the time. Britt's done. This is going to be it for Burrs. He's going to have to absolutely nail this. Doesn't want to cut too much like he did before. And doesn't.
Sublime.
Oh, that was sublime. Oh, yes.
Oh, but the time is dropping a little bit. Is it going to be
Signal now,
enough?
the final two. Come on. We want to see that 39 burrs. Do it for us. Oh, that's perfect. Can he go? Oh, he hit the dirt. And hit the curb. Oh, no.
This is going to be tight. This is going to be very, very tight.
He's going to use all the inside of the track. I think he's going to have it only just. Oh!
5 thousandths of a second, and he's gotten into the 39s.
Wow.
A 39.995. Lucas Burrs, take your hat off. That is unbelievable.
And
fair
Philippa in
play.
the chat, I'm in agreement. That's foul. Yeah.
Fair play to Paul Britt as well. Like,
Oh my.
12 thousandths off of Lucas Burrs, who basically drives the Nissan for a living.
But you know whose point of view we need on this? Mike Crick, what's your point of view?
I mean, it's just Burrs
the
doing
time.
what Burrs does, and I mean
Yeah,
that's an
well, I
insane
guess
time in this particular car. Yeah, that's
That's an insane time in pretty much
And
any
we-
car.
we're not even running the adjusted ballast, so he's not even got like a minus 40 kilo advantage there or anything like that. So yeah, I mean,
As with basically a stock standard Nissan with just setup adjustments.
Yeah. No ballast, no nothing. That's... Yeah.
That's unreal. That's the sort of magic that this spec series can put up, I guess. 'Cause you have these unfavored cars that get thrown into the mix, and drivers are just able to do spectacular things with them. That could really challenge.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sound.
yeah, we're back.
Oh, sound's not working.
We're
Great,
back.
sound's here again. Look at the liveries.
Woo,
Livery. I didn't need an in-betweeners reference.
We are now underway on this formation lap.
One thing you won't miss on the GTRs is those round tail lights.
Yes. I mean, if you hit a GTR, there's no whole lot that you would miss.
No, this is very true. And Chris Murphy, GTR almost viable with minus 40. I'd agree. It is almost viable. Keyword there's almost.
Yeah, almost. I think the biggest thing is just being able to hold on to the tyre life with this car.
Yes, exactly right. I'd also like to take some time to appreciate the time and effort that Lucas Burrs put into the team name. Really appreciate that.
I think
I think that's a lot of effort gone into that.
yes. Definitely not just a keyboard smash.
No, don't say that.
We have a nice 60 minutes to get underway with this spec series, and of course we'll have Split Green coming up after this one.
A split green's always the worst one, so split yellow don't do anything bad.
I think the main thing is, though, is there's only a few other splits to compare with across all of the regions,
Yes.
compared to all splits compared.
Perfect. That makes comparison a little bit easier.
We are about to get underway. Mitch, would you like to send us off for the season? Start of the season?
Absolutely. We'll go for the start of the season. First race here at Imola for the Spec Series. This has been in the works for a little while, and I know all the drivers are overjoyed to get this series underway here for Octane Online Racing, Simagic Spec Series. They come round onto the straight through to what is definitely not turn one, but it says turn on the track map, so we'll have to go with that. Lights do go green fairly late here, so keep an eye on. Some of the drivers will be in that little kink as we go green. Burrs comes around, wait for that green flag. The 5 green lights, we're away here. That's a great start from Rose behind Ty there. He was looking on the inside, but Ty absolutely closed that one off. Bit of a tap there from Rose on Ty. Round the outside's Herod. Ty needs to hold line, and Burrs has absolutely scampered over this one. Rose comes through on Herod. Herod had a bad run. Britt in his own little bubble for the minute. Ty's got Rose behind. Rose absolutely not holding off. There's a 4-car battle just a little bit further back, and more like 8 cars almost. This is great coming through. The second little chicane, S-bends, whatever you'd like to call it, down to the hairpin. A bit of a bad run there. I believe that is Sebi, or maybe a car behind Scarney even. Just on board here with Brimblecombe amongst these two battles. What a great start. Nice and clean. Britt already trying to pull away from Ty. Burrs already pulled that half a second on Britt. So this is a nice clean start here for split yellow. As I say that, oh, there was almost a murder there. Grant Begg just coming through in the background there in that blue, pink and white Nissan. Oh, and there's a tap off the track, and see you later.
Is there calamity?
Oh.
No, they've managed to get through that, but going side by side through Aquaman and Raleigh, not ideal.
No, certainly not ideal. And another thing we haven't mentioned here, knowing Imola, is 2 words: track limit.
Yes, track limits is big around here. So many places where you can either cut the track or just run a little bit wide. Aquaman and Raleigh we've already mentioned, but also Variante Alta, very easy. Piratella.
Most of the track.
Yes. Basically,
Most of the
name a
track.
corner, you can probably get a track limits at it.
Not turn 1 though, because turn 1 is here. There it is. I doubt you can get a track limit there. Down through to turn 2. Burrs pulling along nicely. Pulling Britt along with him a little bit. Ty's a second back. Rose has dropped back a little bit. Herod's in there fighting with Adini. Adini's a second and a half ahead of Hignett, so they can have a little battle in there. McNeil's on the back of Hignett. Taplin's right on beside McNeil as of the last sector. Well, this is all over the place. Begg in the midst of this. Sebi and Scania fighting. Sykes not too far behind this one either. Nice run through there for Begg. A little bit squirrely on the rears. So lucky they've got 2 pit stops. A little bit deep there from Begg. Maybe just trying to avoid a potential dive, and some battling up ahead, and was trying to avoid the dive. That will be Sebi, I believe. It's just going to have to pop back in behind Begg. So it can be done. Sticks the nose in. Oh, had to pull out though. That would have been an incident. That's great driving there.
Yeah, I was clenching at that one. That looked very tight. Oh dear, that was probably a little bit wide there from Brimblecombe behind Taplin. But so far, so good for most of these drivers. 266 of Golic has dropped back a little bit comparative to the field, but for the most part, everyone stayed very, very clean.
Yeah, clean is certainly what we want here. We don't want any bad racing. I don't say bad, just we don't want many incidents, especially on that one, because the stewards will penalise that harder. Down to the final corner. Coming out of the final corner is Stephen Ty's got Mare Rose on the back still. She's going to look to try to get past in the slipstream, and I reckon she's going to have to go in the outside if she wants to get this one done. Ty should defend the inside here and doesn't.
No.
Ooh, so it's going to have to watch Mare Rose through here. Side by side. Ooh, a bit of a shove. And I reckon the stewards actually might ask Ty to give that one back.
I
'cause I think Rose might have had that.
I could be wrong, but leave that one to the stewards. That's actually let Herod back in on this one. Adini in the white. Nissan's not too far behind as well.
No, won't try anything into Toza. But she is very, very tight. I'm not sure what the stewards will think on that one, but we'll carry on.
It was almost, was it Hamilton Verstappen? Or Leclerc Verstappen?
Maybe a little bit, that Hamilton Verstappen thing. I think that happened.
Lap 1?
Yeah, lap 1 at Imola a few years ago.
Sure, I think it was about 2 years ago.
Back in
now, Russell's first year at Merck, so pretty sure. Oh no! Oh, that's Herod in the back of Rose. That was really nicely recovered there from Rose. Herod not so much. I think missed the braking point. So Adini's going to come through. McNeil behind's got Ignat and Taplin and Brimblecombe all there as well. So not an ideal one for Herod. It's probably going to have a bit of damage as part of that. And speaking of damage, the pit window is about to open now. But of course, the drivers at the front won't be able to pit because you can only pit. Oh, sneak of the nose in there from Matterford. Actually caught Chris Brooker off a bit. He went a little bit wide thinking that Matterford was going to go down the inside, but doesn't. Matterford does have Richardson behind, though, as Brooker comes into the pits. I think that's actually a pretty good strategy there from Chris.
Yeah, it gets him out of the battle. If he feels that he may get a little bit caught up in the battling, then it's a good option to take the first-year mandatories early, given you have two of them, as Richardson's going to have to go around the outside. Doesn't look like he'll be able to do anything there.
Mia Rose all over the place, though. What on earth? A bit of a curb there, maybe. Adini, though, does have Herod behind. Herod's going to want to look to get past after that little bit of an incident had with Mia Rose for the chicane. I think that was even building up sort of mid-Aqua Mineral, and then Herod maybe just had the exit, but couldn't quite back out in time. Burrs still stuck in P1, still sitting in P1, but Britt does actually have fastest lap.
It's a nice problem to have been stuck in P1.
It is a nice problem.
But yes, as you said, Paul Britt is still showing great pace with the fastest lap of the race, but definitely got to keep an eye on these track limits. Because very easy to cut, very easy to get a bit of a penalty.
Yeah, absolutely. Drive-through penalty for 4 track limit warnings. Get 3, and then the final one will give you that drive-through. Hopefully the drivers will do their best to avoid them. No other drivers yet pitting other than Brooker and Begg. And Brooker's got to stop, go 30 for speeding in the pit lane. Oh dear.
Not ideal, not ideal.
No, absolutely not. And serve that, as the rules have changed slightly. Depending on the track, stewards will no longer be giving 10-second penalties for speeding in the pit lane. So I think that one.
I mean, if
we get clarification from a steward on that one before we go any further.
I mean, if you're speeding to the point where the game actually picks it up and gives you a penalty, then you should absolutely be serving it.
Yeah, absolutely. It was more so being given, I think, for ones like Spa and Indy, where you just lose like 2 laps almost. But
yeah,
I think we're just saying bad luck with serve. If you get that, then you've got to serve. Totally fair. Nothing against that. So we'll have to see Chris serve that one in the next 3 laps, as we see Adini going a little bit deep into Aqua Mineral. Couldn't quite get it pulled up. We see bottom right hand of screen, Paul Britt trying to hunt down Burrs, who's just taking the fastest lap off the Brit man. Coming through the chicane. That's a real easy one to get track limits for. Both in the middle and on the exit. I really despise that corner with a passion. Yeah,
it's a bit of a pain, but at least they've got a car that can take the curb, at least a bit. So we see Herod has been able to pick up a 10-second penalty for his little antics earlier, the Mia Rose.
Absolutely. So Stewart's starting to give out those penalties, and I might even ask very nicely off one of the stewards if they can just tell me what the penalties are for, so we can let everyone know.
That would certainly be quite nice, as we see Hicknett coming to the pits. So the third of our stoppers now. There's Dan Rama, currently sitting in P10 now that Kicknet has come in. Looks to be Beck, who is a lap down.
This is a great team number, like this one.
I am Slaw.
Where's the I am speed and car 95? Where's that?
Yes. Hopefully someone's done it. Otherwise, I'll be very disappointed.
I will be disappointed too.
Evan Richardson, the Masochist Motorsport entry, currently sitting in P14. A bit of a battle ahead of him between Nagel and Matterford, but also has to keep an eye behind him with Hanikuri hot on his heels. Variante Alta gets a little bit loose on the exit, but nothing too major.
Yeah, these cars will slow a little bit. Brooke has jumped into the pits to serve that stop go 30. So Nagel, if you're Nagel, I'd probably be looking to pit now because it's got quite a few cars behind. And of course, those two.
Oh yeah, definitely covered.
This would be the time to pit.
Please.
And doesn't. Oh, almost hold up Matterford there. Matterford had to almost back out of that one. Slipstream needs to go left, needs to hold that inside line early. Nagel can't move across now. Ooh, I'm seeing Russell Bottas vibes here. Down into turn 1, and I think Matterford just pulled that up absolutely beautifully.
Yes, that one also in the 2021 race that we were mentioning earlier. Hanny Curry was behind all this. So, just keep an eye on what's going on. Looks like Sebi has come into the pits.
Yeah, drivers starting to make those strategy calls, needing to come into the pits. Maybe they're going to run a longer middle stint and just try and get in that clean air and just get some laps in, which certainly is one way to get time out of drivers. So 450 I have confirmed has got the 10 seconds for that collision. Earlier we saw it at the chicane. So serve that in the pits, that'll drop Herod down a good couple of positions, probably just into P10 or so.
Yeah, about P10 at this stage. Be sort of halfway between Dan Rummer and Scarney if the race were to end now. We see there's Mia Rose coming into the pits, so the first of our front runners has bit the bullet.
Confirm car 17 is going to be getting a 15-second penalty for causing a collision, and car 195's got that 5 seconds also for causing a collision.
Thank you. The updates on those. Looks like Burrs is just starting to break away a touch now from Britt, but Britt has taken that fastest lap back to very, very quick.
Sure are. They're absolutely outclassing the field behind them. 4.1 to Stephen Ty. Mia Rose has jumped into the pits, which is why Deanie's up in 4th. That's probably good for Stephen Ty. Might choose to run a little bit longer on this stint now that Rose has jumped into the pits. She might come out on some heavier fuel and try and extend the middle stint. Just saw Herod and McNeil swap positions, I think, as well. So maybe they were doing a bit of battling while Herod's had an incident. It's got 4 seconds ahead of Taplin now.
Yeah, so I think, yeah, Herod and McNeil may have just had a little bit of battle. McNeil's been able to get the better of Matthew Herod. Looking on now from Herod's 450 Disciples of Speed entry.
Getting nice and close. Oh my.
Don't want to get a whole lot closer than that. But Herod is definitely pushing this thing on the brakes.
Yeah. Can't really say myself that pushing on brakes is always the best way to get time with someone, even just a slipstream like this, or just getting on power a little bit earlier on an exit could even do enough. Really late on the brakes. I mean, it's nice he's pulling it up. I'm a bit worried about the rest. Ooh, goes for a bit of a slide, so maybe getting a little bit compromised with the brake bias that's being run or something silly like that. So he's got that 10-second anyway, so he's sort of in a lose-lose situation here at the moment, losing time battling McNeil and has that penalty. Richardson, though, fighting with Nagel and Curry, doing a nice job at the moment, just sticking between them both. Wants to get past Nagel, but he's going to have pressure from Curry behind. So who's going to crack first? Is it Richardson or is it Nagel? Maybe Nagel might move across. Richardson might look down the inside and does. That's brown flag almost.
Yes, that was...
Well, it's appropriate for the colour of the car.
Yes, definitely. But Masochist nearly turned statist there with that potential move.
Certainly had us on our toes for that one. Nagel doing very nicely just to, excuse me, deal with the pressure and keep ahead just outside the top 10. He's got almost a 3-second gap to Matterford, so I don't think anything will come from this battle in terms of getting into the top 10. Yeah, keep an eye.
Hanny Curry's now all over the back of Richardson. Going into
move on the straight.
Going into Rafat could potentially shape up a move, but wouldn't surprise me if one of these three comes into the pits.
If anyone's going to be Richardson. And doesn't.
It's no one.
Okay, well, I guess I can't be a strategist then. Taplin does come into the pits, though.
As does Dian Rama.
From them, maybe they only filled up 15 minutes, going to run maybe a bit of a 25-minute stint here.
Looks like Dian Rama got pushed in the pits as well, yeah.
Yeah, just saw that. So Burrs is 1.8 on Britt, so maybe Britt's had a bit of an incident. 2.1 again, yeah. Maybe Britt's had a bit of a moment. Burrs has taken back fastest lap. Stephen Ty 4.5 behind, holding nicely his ground. Adini 4.7 behind there. McNeil's got a gap there. Herod is still in the back of McNeil. Scarney's a fair chunk behind. He's got Matterford not too far behind as well.
Just looking at the YouTube chat, Glenn's coming in said it sounds like if I threw up in the booth with the noises being made.
We'll never know.
Who knows?
Oh, this is getting up close and personal here. Curry needs... Oh, he had to slip. He had to run. I saw it coming and I was getting ready to say down the inside, but... maybe... Oh, that was very nicely saved. That was about as minimal of an incident. Okay, there's a warning. We'll ignore the track limit warning for now. That was very well done from Curry. Yeah. Just to keep out the back of Richardson as little as possible. It was a small bit of a kiss, and now Richardson's all over Nagel. If I'm Nagel, I pit, but of course our strategy is just irrelevant and they can't hear us, so let's see how this one plays out. Oh, he did listen. Oh, he did hear me.
You are the Messiah.
I think he just had enough of having his gearbox sniffed.
Yeah, I wonder if that little bit of contact from Curry actually helped Richardson, because he seemed to get a hell of a run on Nagel.
Certainly probably would have helped on the exit a little bit, just forcing a little bit of a higher mid-corner speed than usual. So down to the hairpin now. Scarney's got a 5-second. That's only going to drop him down at the moment, one position, which is to the man behind. That is Matterford. So probably not a huge loss.
We're talking about team names.
Team names, I saw that, yeah.
That is... Is
that him hitting the wall? Oh, that's a warning.
Yeah. Maybe hitting the pit wall when he gets to drive through if he keeps that up.
Someone's just made a fantastic point. Where's Mia Rose gone?
Yeah, she's dropped
my
off
answer
the
to
board.
that is yes. Is the answer.
Sad
Maybe a
internet
disconnection. I'd say it must be an internet issue. That's okay. Ted Kravitz's mic crick is on it.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely out of the service. It looks like disconnected quite a little while ago, actually. We just completely missed it.
I did notice that we went down to 21
Yeah, I
cars,
saw
but
21 cars. I'm like, hey.
didn't realise that it was Mia Rose who had disconnected, as we see now Herod and Scarni come in to the pits.
Absolutely. Hignett currently the leader of those that have pitted. It's got Taplin just behind there. And he'll look to try and cement his position provisionally. I'm not 100% sure where he is. I know he's in the top 10. I think he's around P6, P7, something like that. So he'll look to try and solidify that position. Currently, no rain on the radar, 21 degrees ambient and 28 degrees on track for the drivers at the moment. So usual conditions that they would look to see, maybe in a hot lap server or standard race here in OR. So they're not unfamiliar to these conditions. Might be unfamiliar to the tyre wear conditions of the Nissan, and I assume the words for that are rubbish.
Yes, that is
Suboptimal.
pretty apt, I'd say.
Suboptimal is the way I would phrase it.
Suboptimal, yeah. I've just had my brain absolutely broken. There's 2 Taplins. How did I not see that?
Oh,
Because I was wondering
my.
how Liam Taplin was behind Hignett, and I was like, oh, hang on. And then I saw G, I'm like, I'm an idiot.
There are multiple Taplins.
Oh my goodness. Best day ever.
Absolutely. As we see Britt, Burrs, Adini, and McNeil come in,
Ooh.
which leaves Stephen Ty out front.
Yeah, they're going for the 20-minute stint strategy. That's probably what I would have had in my mind, but
Yeah.
I do know Stephen Ty, and I do know he likes an alternate strategy.
Yes, but you can't have too much of an alternate strategy.
No.
You still have to make those 2 pit stops, but then again, we've had some very alternate strategies from the likes of Paul Cranich.
No, and David Bender McNulty.
Yes. And for our F1 viewers, Raj Sandhu would always bring forward some alternate strategies in his game plan.
He races ACC with David McFulty.
Yes, in the endurance series.
I haven't seen any alternate strategies from them. Disappointed. Come on, David. Come on, Raj. You can pick something up. Come on.
Just looking.
We expect more.
Looks like, yeah, Burrs is kind of a nice gap. Oh, Adini.
That's a bad day at the office.
Oh, Adini. He's come on back and he's going back into the pits. That is unfortunate.
Yes, certainly not ideal. Stephen Ty has just jumped in the pits now, so not much of an alternate strategy. Adini's gone for an alternate strategy of getting a penalty. That's certainly alternative.
Yes, well, it's not completely alternative given that Brooker did the same thing.
Yeah, look, and he's down in, there's no word for it, last.
Yes.
And that's not great, but hopefully Adini can recover from the minor blunder that's caused a major penalty.
Yeah, we'll call it just a minor blunder for now.
Yes, that's right. So the moment you can just see Burrs coming down to the second to last corner. Little tad deep, but he's pulled it up nicely. Good exit. I reckon he'll get past Stephen Ty really well here. You'll see Stephen Ty actually drops now, and he's on the move. And depending how close he is to the end of the pits, yeah, Burrs is going to come past with a reasonable gap. I'd give it probably 5 seconds. Maybe more, maybe even 10, but I'd give it more so 5. So
And
Britt's not too far behind.
Yeah, Britt
and
should
Britt's just gotten through.
Yeah, he
that was
just
close.
gets through, but it's tighter than he probably would have wanted.
I reckon there must have been A, an incident, and B, a bad pit stop for Britt for him to be this far behind Burrs all of a sudden.
Yeah, absolutely. And in all of this, we've had a few that have gained quite a chunk out of it. McNeil is there. Hignett's there. In fact, Hignett's been able to jump Herod because of Herod's 10-second penalty earlier.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's where he wanted to be, but there's only 4 tenths behind Hignett is Herod, so it's going to be a battle coming in from that one. Richardson's on Courier. I reckon if I'm Courier, I pit, or Richardson, one of the two. You can't keep battling forever, and Matterford's just out in his own world.
Yeah, Matterford's just savouring the moment as Adini now comes in to serve his stop-go 30. So we look now at the battle between Hignett Herod and L. Taplin.
Yes, Liam Taplin coming through to Aqua Mineral. That was a lot of track. I reckon that's just within limits. If not, it's certainly a warning. Matterford has jumped into the pits. Has decided alternative is not the way. Oh, a lot of curb there at the exit of Aqua Mineral. You can actually get a warning on the exit of Mineral though, if you're not
Yes.
careful, and I don't like that.
Yeah, but yeah, if you just take that little bit too much of that exit curb, you can get that warning. As that was a really nice.
That was a
run from
nice
Herod.
run. I was about to say that was absolutely sublime. Couldn't quite hold the rears on the exit, but very nicely overall. In the second to last corner, Herod needs an absolutely slamming exit. Let's see. No,
That's not really the slamming exit we were looking for.
no, that's the screeching exit that he didn't want. He's going to have the slipstream though. He's got Taplin behind, still in that fluoro yellow, green, blue. I don't know what color that is fluoro, but it reminds me of. It reminds me of season 3.
Oh,
Sprint Series
that is very
McLaren.
wide.
Oh, it's going to hit the dirt. Or pulls it up nicely. Wow,
Just-
that was.
That was sketchy stuff, but Hignett was lucky that he went wide at that moment.
Hignett's gonna
He's
go
really,
deep.
oh, he's
Yeah.
struggling. He's
Yeah.
really pushing. And
Yep,
here
I
comes
would've
Herod
fucked
up
up there
the
too.
inside.
Yeah.
Toza, he
he's gonna
should have this done.
Oh, no bad exit from. Oh, Herod.
But Hignett's on the
gonna lose
outside
out.
now.
Unless he can hold it round here, then you have the inside for Aqua Mineral. He certainly gave it a go.
Oh,
Probably
he was
risked
just in
track
the limits.
And he's certainly going to have the inside here.
Oh!
Oh, he went late on the brakes too. Oh
Oh,
my.
okay.
Great exit though from Herod. He's going to go inside, move inside. Oh, yep. There's just enough room.
Oh, this is
Oh, there's a
awkward.
tap. Yeah, there was a
Yeah.
tap. Saw that. And Taplin's loving life because he can just come through on the inside of Herod and does so. And Herod's going to have a compromised run, but Taplin's compromised by Hignett. Oh, Taplin backs out. I think that was actually probably the safe strategy. Taplin's going to chuck it up inside. Great run.
Oh, you gotta leave the
Oh
room,
my
gotta leave
God.
the room.
Got to lever the space there. Herod does so only minorly,
It
but
stayed the same order.
oh my goodness, how did that hold?
That battle was going on for pretty much the entire track, and it stayed in the same order.
Oh, that's. I hope their rear ends are now unclenched.
Wow.
But yeah, wow, that's really good stuff there. Taplin taking full advantage of that. And as I said, that livery, I think you know at this point, Alexis, season 3 Sprint Series McLaren.
Season
Remember the blue, the blue. Or were you not in at that point?
God, thinking back that far is a bit of a stretch.
Is that a bit much? It was blue, and then this is the old McLaren too, of course, not the 650, but the normal 720.
Oh,
my
dear.
goodness.
You know, liveries from back then are very much a blur.
No, don't be silly. Well, hopefully you have a nice livery for next Sprint Series season.
I mean, I do have a bit more time on my hands now, so I might actually be able to get back into the swing of things with that.
Okay, have you got in mind?
Not sure at this stage. It's still a bit to work out yet. But,
Boo!
well, I mean, I've also got to work out whether I'm taking my sim rig to Melbourne with me for uni. As just looking at the gap, Burrs to Brit is now only 1.4 seconds.
What the? Oh. I don't have words, but sure.
Oh, 2 points. That was a blue flag. Okay. Oh
Yeah,
dear.
that's a very unlucky blue flag.
Yeah, okay.
Right, and now Brit's just dropped back, I think because of that blue flag.
Yeah.
Tyres caught up about 7/10. Yeah, that blue flag certainly put Brit off a bit, but that's okay. Still half an hour and a pit stop to go.
Yeah, anything can happen.
Even a safety car. Unlikely, but you never know.
Yes. Of course, we are running a beautiful virtual safety car. So you can imagine whatever livery and car you want.
Yeah, exactly. You can imagine whatever you want it to be. Hignett, though, fighting with Herod for a top 5 position. Certainly putting the pressure on Hignett, but I know Hignett's pretty good with dealing with behind pressure, so I think he'll hold this one off nicely from Herod. Tapler needs to take full advantage if there is a mistake, though, and has already done once, but just couldn't quite pull it out because Herod was in full attack mode. I think he's back in that mode now because Taplin has dropped back a little bit. Oh, big slide, big slide. Taplin just probably good to keep the tyres in check, which I believe he's doing.
But Burst is the gap between Burst and Brit is back to 1.6 seconds.
I don't know what's going on, but I do know that Brad Cook has taken my words out of context, and now I'm very upset.
Yeah.
And I knew that was going to happen. I should have known, but
I mean, it was not heard, but I was laughing. When
you were thinking it. I'm sure you were. I know. As soon as
I wasn't thinking it. I was laughing off comms. It was certainly a choice of words, but
I didn't think about it. Leave me alone. Oh, that's. I don't know where Curry thought the apex was, but it's not where he put the car.
Must have thought he was in a right-hand. I don't know, a right-hand drive car.
Yeah, possibly. So, Burrs now something's happened to him. He's got Brit 4/10 behind. What's happened?
I don't know what's going on, but Burrs has just all of a sudden gotten very, very, very slow. Because the rate that Brit's catching up, you'd think on normal pace they'll be fast laps, but no. 41.4. Burrs, are you okay?
Yeah, are you feeling alright? Can we get his live heart rate? Wow, 40.2. That is disgusting.
So, like, his pace seems to be 41.8.
He was a bit off that lap, about 4/10.
Yeah.
Brad Cook saying Burrs is bored. Look, it's possible, but it looks like Brit is on maximum attack. So, yes?
I don't really know what to say.
No, I'm a bit confused by that. And most of the gaps have sort of spread out now. This is probably one of about 2 battles, maybe 3 on the track at the moment.
Yeah, there's a couple. You've got Burrs and Brit for P1, then you've got that Hignett Herod Taplin battle. Further back you got Curry Nagel and the other Taplin and Richardson, Begg and Sebi.
Still got a pit stop to go, so we'll keep an eye on the battles. Come the pit stop, that's a bit wide there from Burrs. I reckon just kept it within track limits though, so we just popped under just to 27.5 minutes left in this race. Only 22.5 left in the pit window, so I reckon in probably the next 5 minutes or so, you'll probably see some drivers start to take their final pit stops and go maybe on some alternative strategies.
Yes.
Stephen Ty's in his own bubble though. He's got 10 seconds to McNeil and 3.5 to Brit. Loving one.
Absolutely, and Ty's doing a really, really good job there in P3, and that gap between Brit and Ty has been holding pretty steady this entire stint.
Shaw has his Taplin again, just on the back of Herod, who's still there with Hignett. So if you're Taplin, I mean, you've got the slipstream, you may as well keep going. But if you're Hignett, do you pit? I mean, Herod keeps getting close, and
Hignett was one of the ones who came in early, so it would not surprise me if he also comes in early this stint. I think he was like the 3rd driver to come into the pits or something, so those tyres will be a little bit worse for wear, which is probably why he's under so much pressure.
He's a man who can deal with said pressure. 7/10 between P5 and P7 at the moment. Brimble comes a little bit further back. But he's more than okay. Ooh, Grant Begg taking a fair chunk of the curve there, trying to catch Richardson. It's got Sebi behind as well. Adini not really in this one. After that stop go 30, got for speeding in the pit lane down to the second to last corner. Nicely done there from Grant. Just a little bit squirrely. But, nice exit overall.
Certainly. He's been closing the gap on Richardson ever so slightly these past few laps, and now that battle is well and truly set in stone. Burs has decided to pick the pace up again, but Britt and Ty are still about the same margin, if not a little bit in favour of Ty now.
That was a little bit close there from Taplin. I think he thought he was going to hit Herod, and I would tend to agree with him there. I thought he might have hit him as well. Let's have a look to the chicane though. Herod is right there with Hignett. Taplin just needs to hold back. I think he might.
Oh, Herod had a nice run.
Could be a penalty here if there's an incident between Hignett and Herod. So maybe he's just biding his time. Doesn't need to use up too much of his tyres. Won't need to use too much fuel.
Oh,
and there it was.
The incident.
And let's not curse that. That was not my fault.
Yeah, well, you did say. You did
I did say there might have been an incident.
Oh
It was
dear,
100%
Herod.
a curse, Mitch.
No.
So Herod has not been able to find his braking points tonight, unfortunately. Although it does seem that he's just been braking a bit later than everyone else has.
He has. He might have that brake bias a little bit further back than everyone else, and he looks like he's just been on maximum attack.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that, but of course that comes with consequences, and there's one of them.
Yes. We saw another consequence earlier on.
We sure did. So Taplin now up into P6.
And Taplin is right there.
It sure is. Great exit there. Maybe he might actually chuck on the afterburners here and
You've got to keep an eye on camera
take
too
up
as
the inside.
well.
Yeah, all the
Okay.
cameras.
Burs and Britt. Now a bit more of a tight battle.
Yeah, I think Babsy in the Twitch chat could be right, is that we've seen Herod drive the Porsche as of recent. It's got pretty good brakes compared to the Nissan. So maybe he's still a bit used to the Porsche brakes, which is fine. Would completely understand that. Having driven basically only one car in 1.9 myself, I'm only really used to those brakes.
Ignat got a decent run out of the Variante Alta. Not sure where he cut the track there, but won't be able to do anything with it for the moment. We jump back to this battle. Yeah, Britt is really pushing now. That gap between Britt and Ty has extended to 4.7, so both of these drivers now really pushing.
Absolutely.
Here is Hignett into the pits.
Yep, I think that's a good strategy.
Absolutely, getting that little bit of a nudge you might as well, now that you're not in the clean out.
Absolutely. Down towards Aqua Mineral do Brit and Burst comes. What do you do if you're Brit? Do you pit or do you wait to see what Burst does and pit at the same time?
I think you're probably going to give it another lap or two. From there, it's just do what he doesn't do.
Yeah, I agree. I like to keep at least probably a lap.
Oh!
At least 2 laps if you can between the strategy of the person who's pitted before you, which may help a little bit with that under or overcut. We saw a bit of dirt there on camera 2. I think that was just the classic ACC camera thing, so we won't pay too much attention to that. Down the final corner, Herod's got a 10-second for that collision with Hignett, as I've just been informed by the stewards, so he'll have to serve that one in the pits. He's not going to like that one.
No, we've had to serve now 2 10-second penalties in his pit stops. We just see that is a driver coming out. Do no. So McNeil now comes into the pits. So
not under real threat. So
No, he's got
whatever you
about
want.
10 seconds up the road to Ty and 18 seconds back to Herod. So he's very much in his own domain, doing a very good job.
Without a doubt, Sebi has jumped in the pits as well. Brooke has done his final pit stop.
Liam
He's out in
Taplin.
the pits. Taplin also in the pits. I think that's probably a valid decision there.
Yeah, I don't think Herod will be in anytime soon. Herod's just going to try and extend the gap as much as he can so he can potentially come out ahead of Brimblecombe when both of those pit.
Absolutely, that's going to be the excuse me, the key goal for Herod. Stephen Ty almost 4 seconds up again, so close that gap again to Britt and Burrs. But there, of course, just in the little gang there. 20 minutes to go now, and 15 minutes on the pit window. Drivers making their final pit stop. Scani, she's jumped in the pit. Tackling still in, but should be coming out reasonably soon.
Ignat's found himself in a nice lot of clean air. It was about 20 seconds behind Adini. As Britt is reacting, Britt is in. So Burrs has stayed out with 20 minutes to go. Britt's decided, all right, I'm going to try a little bit of an undercut.
Yep, I think Britt's going to pull all the stops out here. Needs a perfect stop. He had a reasonable pit stop before, wasn't great, did lose maybe a second or two to Burrs. And then Burrs made a few mistakes, we think, and dropped that gap back to that within a second. So Burrs needs to really slam the anchors down now and get some good lap times in before pitting.
Certainly you'll be in full attack mode as we're just looking further down. Hignat's been able to come out quite a fair distance ahead of Liam Taplin, so Taplin may have had just a little bit of an error in his stop. 3.5 seconds behind Hignat now.
Yeah, I think Taplin might have actually had maybe a bit of damage or maybe just a bad stop, because he certainly wasn't 3.5 seconds behind Hignat.
It was about half a second ahead.
Yeah, that's right after that incident with Herod. And Britt's coming out of the pits now. Dion Rama's jumped into the pits. So after Fields almost served their stop.
Looks like Britt might... Yeah, he's going to come out in a little bit of traffic here, so that's not going to help him at all.
No, that's certainly not what he wants to see. So you need to try and force his way through. If you're Burrs, you pit. Other Taplin's also in the pits.
Now, where is Burrs? No, Burrs is going to keep going. I'm a little bit baffled by that. I would have thought he'd have come in and
Well, he
tried...
doesn't know that Britt's being blocked, though.
Well,
I say blocked.
well, even then, Britt needs to spend a little bit of time warming up his tyres and getting them up to spec. Which means that for a little while his pace isn't going to quite be at the same level as what it was. But then again, you also have to counter in the lower fuel load that Burrs will now be on.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of factors at play.
Sure is. Burrs absolutely reeling this car in. I reckon if I'm him, I'd be coming into pits, as Herod must have just heard me, because he's just jumped into the pits as well. Could have said that 10 second to drop him further way down the field. Coming up to Aqua Mineral now is Burrs. That's Britt there, bottom right of screen, stuck in a little bit of blue flag.
They're not blue flags.
They're not blue flags, actually. That's right. They're actually drivers who haven't pit. But, of course, technically, because they're on the same lap, they could fight for that position if they wanted to.
Yes, as we see Nagel
And they
smartly
don't.
comes in.
That's what Britt wants. Doesn't want them fighting those positions. Burrs now. Herod still in the pits. Has served that penalty, though. Brimblecombe in the pits. Nagel we saw just come into the pits. So some drivers starting to their strategy into full effect. Maybe does Burrs come into the pits now? No. Maybe he's going to go for a 15-minute stint and just absolutely go for it.
Yeah.
GTR is quite good under low fuel conditions if you know how to drive it. So that might be what Burrs is aiming for here, I think.
Interesting insights there from Mike.
No, it's Ted.
Yes. Stephen Ty into the pits.
Yep, so he's alternating strategy slightly up to the hairpin.
As we just see cars drift around a little
A
bit.
little bit of latency. Yep,
Yes.
back to normal now.
There we go.
Oh, I love some floating cars. It's great.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Down to Aqua Mineral now. Burrs. Own league here. Doesn't have anyone really near him that could have an effect on his race. Madford also jumps into the pits. Curry might have a chance to jump into the pits as well. Richardson, Begg still yet to pit. And McCulloch, so time here for them to pit. Only 10 minutes, so hope the drivers remember that they do need to pit. It's not a one-stopper. Ty just coming out of the pits now, and Britt's only just gotten through again, probably a little bit further than the previous pit stop, so he'll be pleased with that one. Burst is coming round again and still not pitting.
Wow.
He's trying to prove a point here. What's going on?
And now Britt is clear of any traffic. That would at least be on the same lap. So from here, Britt will be gaining.
Sure will, but depends how much of the tyres he had to use to get past the other drivers. One of them pit.
Says it,
maybe
both of them pit.
Well, there you go. No tyres were used in the making of that driving.
Yeah, they may have done a little bit of damage in the dirty air, but I think generally the tyres were managed okay. But as you can see, Ty is now only 2 seconds behind, so Burrs may come out a few seconds ahead of Britt at this stage. And we'll have the fresher tyres.
Ooh, bad run from Brimblecombe. Herod's going to go around the outside. Good
Easy as you like.
Decided to defend it, but I don't think Brimblecombe was really...
Oh, that's close.
Was really in too much of a bother about that one. Got a better run, though, with the later apex. Brimblecombe maybe just sticking the nose out, put the pressure on Herod, but I think Herod will pull away pretty quickly with the pace. Got a little bit of a gap now. Of course, the Taplin has got 2 seconds of Ignat. Begg and Burr still yet to pit, so Taplin's only going to come up one more position once Begg decides to jump into the pits. And Burrs is Burrs, really.
Yeah, but Burrs is just doing Burrs things.
Oh,
And he's
decides
in!
to pit now. Great. They took on a fair chunk of fuel.
Yes, certainly. Now, here is Britt just going through Tozer now. Keep an eye on camera 2. That is Burrs is now just stopping in his pit box.
Well, I can confirm it's 71 second stop, 4 tyres. So minute 11 if it's a perfect stop. And reckon Britt was pretty close to being at least 20-30 seconds into the lap, so this is
Yeah, it was about 20 something seconds into the lap by the time you get to Variante Villeneuve.
So it's going to be a close one here for Britt. I'm pretty sure Burrs should still come out ahead if he got a good stop. So keep an eye on
Well,
that.
there is Burrs moving now,
Oh, he's moving now.
but
Wow.
he has a bit to cover yet.
Oh, he does. I think he'll still get out.
He should still get out ahead by a bit of a margin. As yeah, there is the pit exit there. So he is now coming back up to speed. So he'll come out with a fair margin.
I wasn't expecting that gap to be as big. I thought that Britt was a little bit, excuse me, further around the track than I first anticipated. But Burrs is actually
cars
very
in
lucky.
between.
Yeah, I was going to say he's very lucky to come out ahead of those cars. I reckon Burrs would have been in a bit of trouble.
Yep, so realistically, this should be pretty smooth sailing here from here. Wow, 4.7 seconds. Burrs must have really put the hammer down.
I reckon used up all the tyre that he was given. Blue flag just going to get out of the way of Britt. It's a good decision there. nicely. So the last driver to pit is Grant Begg. I think that he's deciding that he wants to be the bender of this race and go for an alternate strategy.
A very alternate strategy indeed.
A very alternate strategy. It's almost the burst strategy. This is McNeil, but there's no really point fighting because he's got a pit.
Yeah, and I think he ended up letting McNeil go through.
Yeah, it's a good decision there from Grant. Just acknowledge that, yep, you're faster than me. I haven't pitted. Just come on through, run my own race. Let's get some done. That's a lot of curb there, though. Holy moly.
A nice chunk of curb. Downrama is currently sitting P10. Looks like they may have been just an instant further back with Matterford just now getting back up to speed. Now got to keep an eye on what Curry's doing, 3.5 seconds back. That is Gullick, who is a lap down and should let Matterford through, and he does. Or so I think. No. I've been lied to.
Been lied to. Should let him through in a minute, though.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
He's a Dini up at Stockco 30s, way back down at the back of the field almost. Just fighting with Scarney now. Up to nice flowing section of the track, I find. And Scarney looks like he's got a bit of damage as well, so that's definitely helping the handling of that car. Just under 10 minutes left to go, and Grant Beggs decides that he still doesn't want to pit.
Does he know?
He does not know. Or he does know, and he's going to pit in 2 minutes' time.
Yes.
Dini getting nice, close and personal with
Scarney with a good exit out of Baron to Alta, though.
I do love me a good exit.
Yes. It's the best way to get off the freeway.
Nice run for Adini, but I reckon Scarney's actually going to have the better run. Adini almost just puts it in the dirt, but he's of course going to have that slipstream down onto the straight. But maybe Adini's running slightly higher wing to...
Has he run out of...
Oh, he's blue flag.
Yeah, it's a blue flag.
Very kind thing to do there from Adini. Just let Brit through.
I forgot about blue flags for a moment.
Oh, come on. How many blue flags have you passed in your time? You should know.
Brit is closing a little bit, but it's nowhere near enough.
3.8 to Burrs and Brit, so the gap has closed since the pit stops, but not really enough. 8 minutes to go. Getting slightly worried that Grant doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah, Grant needs
I
to
hope
come
he doesn't
in
watch
this
back.
lap. He needs to pit this lap, or else
Yeah,
he
this
is disqualified.
Yeah.
There
I just
goes.
hope he doesn't watch this back and hear me say that I don't think he knows what he's doing. That will mean war, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
It's fine. But someone who can definitely handle their own is Burrs, still in P1 with the fastest lap. I mean, what more could you ask for? Pole, currently P1, fastest lap. Loving that.
A shoey.
A shoey, yes, that is certainly something you could add on top of that.
It would just round off the package as Adini now has a nice run on Scarney. You can see in the mirrors there. Oh, looks like he just backed out of it. Didn't want to go for the move into turn 1.
Yeah, absolutely. So, must run through there. And Grant Begg has remembered to pit, as
Hallelujah.
Captain has remembered that curbs do exist, and I think might have lost it a little bit with Hignett. So he's going to be a long way back now. Still P7 though, so Herod, I dare say, is not too far behind.
interesting developments. So, Mia Rose has come into the chat, saying that the engine seems to have blown up.
Right. That is, yeah, sure.
As that is quite a bit of traffic that Burrs has had to circumnavigate. We have just over 5 minutes to go in this one. The pit window will close in 40 seconds. Oh, Adini's got to drive through.
Well, this has not been a Deanie's race. Let me find out how long a drive-through is.
Well, you said about
36 seconds. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was
Right.
based on that 70-something seconds for the pit stop. You'd basically just subtract about 35 seconds and you'd be right about where a drive-through is. But Adini's not going to be scoring a lot out of this one.
Window is closing now.
Yeah, absolutely. So Burrs now just holding his own. There is the man who I thought would never pit, Ramp Begg, currently sitting P13. Definitely up a few positions from where he started. So good race for him. Being a bit further up. Good race for Taplin, other than that little incident at the chicane, which we have no idea what happened, but something happened.
A thing.
A thing, which has brought Herod 1.3 behind with 4.5 minutes to go. Everyone else is just sort of in their own little world. Adini's in a battle, but's got the drive-through, so that's not going to be particularly useful to him. But Richardson and Sebi are still fighting with Nagel, which is certainly nice, considering we're sort of at the back end of this race. Oh, wow. Is that Brit? That's Brit behind.
Is that Brit behind or Brit ahead?
No, that's Brit behind of these. The blue. That's Sebi behind Sebi. There, that one, the black one.
Is that Brit though?
Pretty sure it is.
The number 37 looks to be ahead of these guys on track.
Am I losing it? Oh, I don't know.
On the track
It
map,
has
number
gotten
37
through.
is further up the road.
No.
Yeah, 2.4
Yeah.
seconds behind. So yeah.
Oh, I can't read. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness me.
That was certainly
Sure.
a bit of
Sure.
Bottas. But
Oh, no,
oh
this
dear!
that's Ty. That's why I recognise the colours. It's Stephen.
And now
Oh.
Stephen Ty's having to get through all this traffic.
Okay. And there's a car dead.
That is Gulick.
It's Gulick. Yep.
And yeah, Stephen Ty's been a bit butchered by this one.
Yeah, he's probably not going to be particularly pleased, but looks to be getting through it okay. It's gotten past fine now, so these cars will probably look to use the slipstream they've been given. Oh, bit slidey there from Richardson. Probably a bit of a brown flag there. I thought the car might have been around 2 minutes 40 to go now, so Burrs will come round. There'll be 1 lap left. Say 1 lap left.
I'd say 2
Where are we?
laps.
Yeah, 2 laps is what I meant, but I was thinking about when he's on the next lap. There's 1 lap left after the
Oh,
next one. I'm losing it.
Okay. So,
Yes, we'll go with that.
So Adini still needs to come in to serve his drive-through. I think he has to come in this lap.
Yeah.
If he doesn't, that's going to be a bit of a bigger penalty.
Also known as a disqualification.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Yay! Easy. Yay.
So second to last lap now for Burrs. Almost 3 seconds ahead of Britt, who's 4.5 seconds ahead of Ty, who lost, I reckon, about a second with that. Battling.
He lost like 2 seconds. The gap was 2.5
No.
between Britt and Ty. So that was
Sad
a big
noises.
loss.
If this is what split yellow's like, what's split green going to be like?
Chaos.
Well, thank God we're not commentating that one.
Yeah, yes. We'll allow Brad Cook and Conrad to indulge us
Oh
with this.
my God.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Well, hopefully next week
Okay.
hopefully next week when he's back home in his Bentley,
Yeah.
he is a bit less prone to these penalties. That is certainly not the race that Daniel Adini would have wanted.
Well, I mean, Bentley at Zolder, that's a pretty good combination.
Especially with the ballast.
But Bentley at Zolder also equals track limits.
Yes.
Again.
But the problem here is mainly just been speeding bits. As
Ooh.
dear, that is Sebi up the inside at the Ravazza. That's going to be a tight one, and now that's going to invite Scani into the mix. As Scani now goes around the outside of Sebi. It gets a really neat move done. We'll now have the slipstream effect there on Nagel, the potential to get up the inside there at Tamburello.
Yeah, so it was a great exit there. Scani did everything right. It's now right on the back of Nagel, putting all the pressure in the world on him.
We are now on the last lap of the race as the time hits 0. Oh, Scani. Oh dear.
Right.
And he's... Oh dear.
Okay.
Gonna hand over those Nissan keys, Scani.
Yep, I think he needs to
Oh,
hand them
Sebi
over.
might have a little bit of a run. He wanted to go around the outside toes. That would have been a hell of a move if he pulled it off.
Absolute cracker. He just needs to get one more chance here. Not long left here for split yellow at Imola. It's just come to my attention that maybe I should promote the lovely walkthroughs that we're doing. We do every season, but we're promoting them a little bit more this season. Come along each week. This season we have a pro driver giving up their time to assist drivers in getting better at the tracks this season. I'm assuming that's something will be done in future. And there's a tap. Okay, they ruined my promotion. I'm upset now.
Something had to do it, but meanwhile, Lucas Burrs is coming around the final corner, and he is going to take out the first round here at Imola for the OOR Simagic Spec Series for Split Yellow in what was a very, very good drive. Paul Britt there, 1.6 seconds back. He can be very proud of himself, getting a very good result in the Nissan there that is very much a Lucas Burrs stronghold. Stephen Ty finishing out there in P3 with a nice drive himself. Austin McNeil with a fantastic drive to snag P4.
Or Burrs, one of the two. That's
absolutely
just a cracking drive. And Sebi gets a 15-second penalty right at the end there for that little tap, which is not ideal, but that is what happens. Ben Hignett fought his way up. A couple of little incidents he was involved in, none of his fault, but comes back to bring it home. P5, Taplin behind. Solid race, got caught up in a couple of battles, but did the right thing and snuck himself into P6. Great drive from him. Herod's not too far behind either after 20 seconds worth of penalties. Brimblecombe's not too far behind either in P8. Dion Rama in P9. And Matterford's going to come across to finish out the top 10. You got Curry and Sykes as well yet to come across the line here for split yellow. No rain though. I'm upset by that.
Split green's coming up.
Wow. Let's hope for rain.
Yes. Just more chaos.
Bender, can you come and do your rain dance, please?
Yes.
We need the rain dancing, and lots of it.
Overall, that was a very solid race, though. Quite a bit happened in that.
Yeah, it's amazing what happens when all the drivers get the same piece of machinery, same ballast, and just go for it.
Yeah, it all comes down to the driver at that point. You'd love to see it.
Sure does. This is why the BAP's been introduced into leagues. Being used by lovely...
But for a minute, I thought Sykes had
I thought he was out of fuel, but he's not. He's got it. I think he's just clawing his way to the finish.
No,
he
has run out of fuel, I think.
I think he might. Yeah, you might be right. He might. There you go. He's just made it. Just made it. So Burrs takes that one out. It was a great race overall. Great battling with Britt. Stephen Ty takes out P3, Britt there in P2. We'll see the final results on the timetables here. Take us through, Alexis.
Yeah, so we had Lucas Burrs winning there from Paul Britt, Stephen Ty, McNeil, and Hicknett, your top 5. Very good results all round. Then Liam Taplin, Herod, Brimblecurrum, Dean Rama, Matterford, your top 10. Then we had Curry, Sykes, Begg, Richardson, Scarney, Glenn Taplin, Sebi, Nagel, Brooker, Golick, Adini, and then Mia Rose did not finish with a blown engine.
I don't recommend blowing the engine up.
No, it's not ideal.
No. Obviously, it was accidental. And then, obviously, you can't repair engine damage. So when you blow it up, that is bye-bye, good night, ma'am.
Yes.
Look, that's not ideal. But we are, Alexis, going to say good night, ma'am, to everyone in the stream. We're going to welcome our split green commentators, Connor Hind, and some guy named Brad Cook. I don't know who he is.
Evening.
Evening all. How we going?
Doing all right.
That was an entertaining race. I hope you watched it. And Brad decided to point out that I walked into a joke, and now I'm upset.
Yeah, I couldn't hold back from that.
You couldn't
Sorry,
hold
sorry,
back.
Hobbsy.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
To be fair, it was handed right on a platter.
Yeah, look. I said it, and then I realised what I said. I'm like, oh no.
I didn't want to bring it up, but Brad did the job for me.
Yeah, because Brad's not in the Discord talking, so he can just sit there laughing his head off and just take the piss.
Hey, I mean, I'm on push to talk, so I can still laugh my head off.
Yeah, but I have to continue talking, realising what I've said. And I can't bring myself to do that.
Certainly one of the moments of all time, but we'll hand it over to you to Brad and Connor, and we'll wish you good luck for Split Green.
Have fun, you two.
Thank you, thank you.
All right.
Welcome.
Welcome back.
Welcome to the Octane Online Racing Simagic Spec Series. We're here at Imola tonight. My name's Connor Hind, and in the box with me I have a newbie, Brad Cook. How are you, mate?
Yeah, not too bad, Hindy. How you going, mate?
Yeah, good, wonderful. Actually, really good, because if you look on track at the moment, we have possibly the best car in the game. If you would like to tell us about it.
It's certainly a car. It does 4 wheels, a wing at the back, a splitter at the front. I'm not too sure about everything in between, but it's definitely a car.
Let's not go with that. So tonight we have the first round around Imola. It's an hour 10 long race in the GTR. So everyone's in the GTR. It is bopped, so I think it's actually got minus 40. But everyone's on an even playing field here.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what sort of times we see in quali for this split. We did see a 39 in split yellow, but that was done by the GTR man himself, so no offense to any of the drivers in this split, but I don't think we'll be seeing a 39, but we should hopefully see some 40s.
I reckon 40s is possible. This is one of the GTR's strongest tracks in the game. It's few and far between, but I mean, it's just the sound and the look of the car. It just looks so good.
Right, as Lucas Keys crosses the line for a 41.4, currently in first place, not a bad outlap.
Yeah, definitely, to set the benchmark and set the pace. He is 6/10 up on a hill. I'll put the ball in your court, Brad. Your pole sitter, who's it going to be?
Well, now that is a very tough question. Let's take a look. I mean, we've got Luke Johnson, who's apparently an AM, and Lucas Keys, who's apparently an AM, but that top three we've got now, I reckon it'll be out of them, possibly.
Yeah, I'm looking at it too, and it's a high possibility it could be Keys Johnson. Skick Luna's another name as well. It'll just be interesting seeing some of the names float up and above. I do have a bone to pick with Luke Johnson, though. He signed up to both series as a silver badge, and I'm honestly very disappointed in that. He should have a pro badge next to his name.
Well, yeah, I will say that I did sign up as a silver badge just to see if you could sneak through, but yeah, it didn't get past the admins, unfortunately.
Well, I hate to say it, but you are wrong. As we see, Johnson is up by a tenth and a bit, so we'll see how he comes into the final 2 turns. It can be a lot of time gained, especially firing back onto the front straight here. He's up 2 tenths. Loses a little bit on exit. Let's see what the exit's like going onto the front straight. Tenth and a half.
Losing just a little bit. May just have enough to hold for pole. Still early days in qualifying, though. Probably see a few drivers jump back to the pits soon and grab some new boots and head back out.
Yeah, definitely. And especially with, I guess, you probably want to do with this kind of track, maybe a couple, 3-4 laps, and then come in for a new set of boots, just because of how much like curb hopping, curb riding you're going to be doing.
Yeah, exactly. And also this track, it's extremely difficult to get a consistent lap through just because of the amount of curbs you have to hop. So doing a bit of an extended rubber sometimes can be beneficial.
So we jump down to Skick Luna, who's he's just a little bit up. He's starting to creep over. He's got a good exit out of that first sequence there. As he fires down in the next chicane. Oh, look at the time. Just keep creeping up there.
Yeah, lovely work through there into the hairpin. Bit off camber, so you can understeer at the apex a bit. But he's done it nicely. Up nearly 4/10. Coming into Piratella. Lovely work. Still gaining time. Aqua Minerale. Then on the way up to Varianta Alta. Probably the most frustrating corner in the... Oh, he's invalidated, unfortunately. But yes, that Varianta Alta is one of those corners that turns this track from a great track into a enraging track, I would say.
Yeah, it's a good track. I like it. If it didn't have a corner like that, I'd be like, oh yeah, it's up there in the greats. But it's just one of those good tracks because of some of the corners that are very enraging.
Oh yeah, it's a very challenging track, and it is. It's great when you hook up a lap. Right, Lucas Keys finding some time. And losing it again on the exit. See if he can make it up in Piratella.
Oh, he's holding even.
Into Aqua Minerale. Got to take your brave pills for this corner. Carry as much speed through there as possible. And now you hold your breath for Varianta Alta. And loses
loses a
time on the
bunch of time. You got to really be squared off coming out of that chicane there, really, because the moment that you're kind of sideways, it just chunks up your rhythm.
Yeah, exactly. And the car just bounces and squirrels around, and PC just bogs you down. But Layla Bell, unfortunately, must have invalidated. Oh, looks like she might be on an outlap, actually. So just getting the tyres warmed up for her next flyer. But she's a bit of a sneaky pro after seeing her performances in the last season.
Definitely a big improver. So it'll be good to see how in a Spec Series type environment she goes, especially being that she's only really been in the Porsche, right?
Yeah, correct. She's been in the correct car for all of her seasons in OR, so kudos to her.
I mean, the correct car is out on track right now. So
Confirmed.
I feel like I'm being ganged up on here, but anyway, Luke's Keys up 2/10, losing it again through Minerale. No, not Minerale, Piratella. Gaining it again towards Minerale. Can he keep it valid this time? Oh, he runs a bit wide at the apex and loses 2/10. So he'll be picking himself right about now.
you got to really climb all up over that curbing coming out of Minerale on the entry and also on the exit to really maximise your time as we jump on board with Greco, who is 6/10 up, 5.5, lost a bit on exit there. Fires down into... This corner is frustrating.
Yeah, the off-camber nature of it. You just carry a bit too much brake, you're going to understeer, and then you just result in a bit of oversteer on the exit. But he's still 4/10 up, so we'll see if he's got a bit more time in the rest of the lap.
We'll have to look at all the Nissans going down the grid and rate a livery too, I reckon, especially on such a clean, majestic-looking car like that.
Oh, I mean, it's hard to make a good-looking livery on a Nissan. I don't know whether that is the Nissan's fault or ACC's in-game liveries for them, but I'll leave that up to you, chat.
Just hold on, I'm just trying to find the mute button here for Brad.
Don't do me dirty like that, Mike. But
I mean, you're
anyway,
doing Nissan dirty.
Greco is half a second up on his lap, so he's doing a great job. See if he gets a good exit out of the final Ravazza. Still losing a little bit, but still a solid lap so far. Get him into the 41s.
even a 41 with a car that's not really used by a lot of people around here is still moving along. I mean, there's only two 1000s separating the top two in Steele and Johnson, so unless Johnson... Is Johnson still on that 41-1?
I would imagine
he
he
improved, yeah.
is. Yep, still on a 41.157. Still a very quick lap. It's yeah, you look at something that Lucas Burrs and Paul Britt does in the 39s and low 40s, but you forget that a 41.1 is still a pretty handy lap around here.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Even in some of the other cars, it's still pretty handy. I'll tell you what, I like the pinky purple Johnston on that with the black. That looks mega.
Certainly stands out, that's for sure.
Nothing wrong with that.
Five tenths up for Sue here. Drops a little bit of time coming to Acca Minerale here. How brave will he be? Hard on the brakes. Meets the apex nicely on the power, making up a little bit of time. Now just holding his breath, hoping he hits the curbs correctly. Makes up a bunch of time. Little bit to lose on the exit here, but oh, he's made up a bit more. Must have had a bad shift in the previous lap. Still making up more time.
Oh, look at it! It's
8
just...
tenths. Oh, a bit of a bad exit, but still a very solid lap. Get him close to the top 3, I'd imagine. Yep, P3, nicely done.
Can't complain with that. P3, 41-2. Oh, as Steele has gone into P1.
Yeah,
Where's Luke Johnson gone?
Yeah, what's happened to him? He's looks like he's possibly disconnected.
Yeah, he's just jumped off. He's just had a disconnect. By the looks of things.
Oh, Lukey,
We are checking.
that's rough.
Hopefully he can get back on in time for the race. He doesn't have much, but as Steele... Oh, there he is. There he's back.
Jumped back in. Yep. Let's see what Steele can do. Can Steele... I don't want to say that. No. Can Steele take Luke Johnson's pole away from him, because Johnson won't be able to get out for another lap. It's going to be a bit of a nail biter here. Well, Graham Hill's in P3. This is very tight. Less than a tenth between first to fourth position. Stack just drifts it through there.
Were you going to say, can Steele steal P1?
No, I would never say that, actually. Steele just drops off the curve a little bit into the grass. Heading up to Piratella. It's going to be tough to find that time back for the rest of the lap. But there's always time to find it. The ever frustrating variant Elder. Lucas Keys is up just enough to grab pole, potentially.
Oh, yeah, it'll be close if he can hold on to it. It's just... We've dropped a little bit on exit there, but...
Got to be very tight. So we wait for him to cross the line. He's done just enough. Nice work.
Banger of lap, 41 flat. Can't complain about that. Let's see,
not at
who
all.
else do we have? Ooh, no one by the
And we are
looks.
done.
Well, there's a quali to set the grid. Coming in clutch there towards the end of that quali lap, so...
Yeah, you got to love those laps when you've got one more lap to complete and you just absolutely nail it. Well done.
You got a well done from Brad, good sir, so consider your night well achieved. Alright, Brad. Pick your favourite looking Nissan.
Well, once we have a bit of a fly through of the grid and we get to take a look at the liveries, I'll certainly let you know. But there's it's going to be a hard choice. I'm not liking the front row though. They're kind of a little bland, if I must say.
The front row has chosen to not bother participating in livery of the week.
Liking a bit of the red action going on there. I have heard it is tough to make a good looking in-game livery for the GTR though. The Kunos has done them dirty, unfortunately.
I like that silver and blue one. That's nice. That's nice.
Bit of a Paul Walker inspired livery there, I think.
Someone has decided to just slap a lime green coat all over their Nissan.
I do like me a bit of green, so I'll approve of that. Definitely stands out. People won't miss you. So got almost a plain black car. I actually kind of like that with a bit of red splash on the front and the wing end plates.
I mean, did you even do a livery if you just did a plain black one?
But I mean, black is always best in my books.
Do we have is that white and blue one towards the back there? Is that like an in-game actual livery, like one of the in-game cars?
Yeah, that's one of the defaults, and so is this beautiful classic
Oh,
GT.
there we go.
Motul.
The Motul. Yep. No, that's
the
even
one.
though they didn't design it themselves, that is the winner of livery of the race. So, and
they
he's gone.
disappeared.
Yep. They decided they
How-
would prefer to start from the pits, but that's on them. So,
How do you know that they didn't design it themselves? They could have recreated that from scratch.
well, they could have. You're not wrong there, but we
yes.
aren't accepting custom liveries for this series. So,
All right, race winners. Who's your race winner? I'm gonna go with Steel. I reckon Steel's gonna do a couple of good drifts and get all the way to P1.
you reckon Steel can get up tonight? This is actually a really tough one because we've got a group of drivers. Say nearly the top 6 are all quite close on pace. It's going to come down to who's done the most preparation to get used to this car at this track. You know what? I might put it on Luke Johnson. He's been around for a while now. I reckon he'll keep his head nice and clear, not get involved in any incidents, and we'll take it out tonight.
I'd just like to give a shout out to Benjamin Hignett in the YouTube chat. How'd you enjoy your GDR round?
He did pretty well.
Yeah, I reckon he's going to choose it for the next sprint series, if I'm honest.
100%.
Benjamin out there representing the Pit Viper racing team. It's a new team that's recently been funded by Pit Vipers themselves.
With the lack of funding by buying
Yeah.
the Pit Vipers.
Yeah, the lack of funding, that's right. Probably by Afterpay, I'd say.
As they're winding around to the second last corner, I'll grab the start here, Brad.
You go for it, mate.
No, sorry, Ben, you're wrong. The V6 in your Rodeo just doesn't cut the mustard. The rounding the final sequence of corners, it'll be interesting to see who can get the good start off the line here and who can get the jump, or do we have another 12 metres? Who knows? As they're coming down the straight, we have Keys in first, Johnson in second, Steele in third, Hill in fourth, and Skikluna in fifth, and that's your top 5. I don't know what's going on with the badges there, but as we wait for the green light, just look at the rear of the cars too. It's just a beautiful looking machine. As we round down, it's one of these long starts, isn't it? They're coming down, and it's green, and Keys gets a rocket of a start. Look at that, and he's jumped straight into the lead, commanding into the first corner. Steele's having a look on Johnson. Johnson breaks late. We've got a couple of too wide there in the back. Oh, and we have Sadness into turn 1. Someone has bit the biscuit and just absolutely not wanted to be a part of the race. 101, who is that? As we watch, look at the drifts through the corners. Keys absolutely throwing the thing around. Keys and Johnson are going to go too wide into the bank corner. And Steele's just sitting there, just seeing what's about. Skikluna's moved into 4th, Hill into 5th.
Yeah, very solid start from the top 3 there. Saw a bit of a 3 wide going on deep into the top 10 there, which resulted in someone getting sent to the fence. But yeah, very, very solid for most of the front of the field. Now just time to settle in. Analyze what's going on in front of you, and then see where you can end up.
The Nissan's bouncing over the chicane curbing. I reckon Keys has got a command here. Johnson is under fire by Steele. He's all over the back of him. He's going to have a look down the outside. Johnson's played defensive into that. All this is going to do, if they keep battling so much early on, it's just going to allow Skikluna to claw onto the back and make it a 3-way battle.
Yeah, you don't want to battle too much too early, but I think they're all pretty level head drivers up the front here, so shouldn't see any stupid moves, any dive bombs or anything like that. So Johnson just defending just to maintain that position and then focus in on the next lap and try and get back on the tail of Keys here.
Yeah, absolutely. Just don't try and battle too much, bring the tyres up, and then see if he can make inroads into Keys out in front, because Keys is almost a second in front.
As we mentioned that, Steele has dropped back a bit, must have had a bad run through turns 2 and 3, and now falling into the clutches of Skikluna here, just under 2 tenths between them.
Steele dropping back. But Johnson, is rocketing off towards Keys. As we jump on board with Sue, who runs a little bit wide there. If you look at the grid too, the grid's formed into 2 packs. So we have Godfrey down, forming a second pack. And then you have the top 12 forming pack number 1, or top 11, top 10.
Yeah, that is quite the gap, isn't it? 4.5 seconds between Kong and Godfrey. Not sure what happened. Why that's created quite the distinct 2 gaps here. There's even a third little pack at the back there. A bit of a yellow flag at turn 1. What's happened? Oh no, brilliant out.
And we have someone spun around in the back.
So it was Chris Murphy that got sent off at turn 2 there. So he's going to be fighting his way back through the field. Very fast driver indeed. But Sue lost quite a few positions at the start, I believe. He was definitely up there, but lost a few. Now lost another one to Johnston. So falling back a little bit, maybe taking on a bit more fuel than the others around him. Potentially looking for the long stint at the start.
Yeah, he could have taken on a little bit of fuel, or even then just might be a bit nervous or not quite getting the car up into operating range where it needs to be.
Yeah, just looking a little bit rattled here, but hopefully you can settle it down and look at that best lap at 1:53, so probably invalidated, made a mistake somewhere on the second lap. which resulted in him dropping back a few positions. Yeah, good start. Ran a bit wide, the exit of the chicane, but still managed to create a bit of a gap to Kong behind.
Yeah, he's just got to keep stretching the gap. And yes, you're right, Benjamin. If your name is Lucas, you are just instantly good at driving the GTR.
And apparently if your name is Luke, you're almost as good at driving the GTR, but you just don't have that AS at the end of your name, so you're just not quite as good, unfortunately. Sorry, Luke Johnson, but might have to go change your name.
Just didn't quite get there. So we watch on board from Skick Luna. Steele has a moment ahead. It allows Skick Luna to pounce. He probably doesn't have a move set here, but if he can kind of fill the mirrors and make Steele kind of lose his rhythm here, he could gain a spot.
Yeah, exactly. Very easy to run wide. Whoop, we've got a gaggle here. Sean Muller in the mix of it here. Absolutely loving his time in the GTR. He's a big GTR fan. We know that for sure.
He was actually just talking before in TeamSpeak about how much he loves the GTR and how bad the Porsche is, especially the new Porsche. It's just an absolute bucket of bolts of a car.
Hey, watch your mouth there, but that is true. He was raving about the GTR as he runs wide at Acca Minerale here. Gets a bit of a bad exit. Will need to tries to go defensive, but goes back onto the line. He's got enough space here from Kidman. And Layla Bell has made some good inroads here in the Paul Walker livery. I'm calling it that, even if it's not meant to be that.
One thing I've noticed about Bell after commentating a few races last season, and also just some of the races I've been in with her, is that she's very good in race pace. Like, she has good qualifying runs, but like her race pace carries her up the order.
Yeah, exactly. And seeing her race in other areas, I've noticed she's very, very strong in just consistent race pace. Probably compared to the race pace, lacking a little bit in qualifying, but that'll come with more experience in ACC.
Yeah, absolutely.
So top four are still pretty close together, so I reckon we're on for a pretty good race here.
Yeah, if they can all stay together and keep bunched up, it'd be really good for like the duration of it. But then again, like, how much have people practiced in this car? You just don't know.
Yeah, that's it. Pulling out a fast quali lap and doing 60 minutes of consistent lapping is two completely different things, especially if you don't know the car all that well and how the tyre wear is gonna trend and how much you need to look after them. But I wouldn't know a thing about. Oh, it goes a bit deep there, Skick Luna. That was a little too late on the brakes there. But he'll gather himself back up and try and get back on the bumper of steel. Yeah, Graham Hill here just dropping back of this top four. Looks like Layla Bell does have a little bit more pace on him, so she'll be looking to get by probably sooner rather than later, so she can try and attach herself onto the top four.
Yeah, just be plugging away really. She dropped to Hill because she was in front of Hill before, right?
I don't believe she's actually been past Hill yet. Wait, maybe you might be right, I'm not sure.
We watch on board camera 2, so Keys is still in front, but Johnson's closing the gap, and Steele is still hanging there, as is Skick Luna. So as we jump back on board as well with Murphy, who is starting to come up to the back of Webster, Murphy was the unlucky one into turn 1, who unfortunately had a little bit of a moment.
Yeah, but he's slowly making his way back through up to P21. Pretty sure he ended up right at the back, so he's made a few positions back here. A very interesting livery. Got the pink and green. Not sure how Mike feels about that one.
Interesting is certainly not the word I'd use.
Secretly
Does
deep
how you
down,
would.
Mike loves it.
And Luke Johnson definitely not letting Keys get away in any way. Probably just sitting, just watching what's going on, seeing where Keys might potentially be weak, making sure he knows that he's always there. Any mistake, Johnson will be there, ready to pick up the pieces.
And that's the thing, how much can Keys withstand the pressure of 49 minutes of someone right on his rear bumper?
It's definitely not an easy thing to remember, to keep your eyes forward, not focus on that mirror too much. Unless Keys is one of those masochists that drives without the rearview mirror. You guys know who you are.
An absolute heinous crime.
Johnston all over the back of Lai here, carrying a lot of speed through Aqua Minerale. Probably didn't get quite as good an exit as Lai did, but still very close. Probably hoping for a nice solid run through the chicane here to keep it nice and close. Probably not close enough to go for a dive. We'll have to just settle in behind again.
You look just up in front, Bell has gone in front of Hill, so whether that was an overtake or Hill ran wide, might be good to get a replay on that. Hopefully it was a drift through Aqua Minerale around the outside to overtake.
Yep, lots of drifting and soy sauce and questionable smells, but she's got it done. Now, can she just range herself up to the back of Skikluna and tack herself onto the top 4 and hopefully make an indent into that group?
Going off previous experience and stuff, I reckon she's got an inner to pull up to that front group, especially being like they're only 2 seconds down the road.
Yeah, it's definitely it's a lot of fun when you clear a driver in front and you've got a carrot in front of you and you just start plugging away at the hot laps. See that delta drop. Johnson still not letting Keys get away. This gap has stayed at half a second since pretty much the end of lap 1. As we see a bit of as Crofty says, the old switcheroo by Layla there. And we'll finish the job at Piratella by the looks of it.
Good move.
Very
good
well
move.
very well executed. This track is definitely one of those tracks where you've got to set up a move, usually a corner beforehand, because it's very hard to get a bit of a side-by-side going without sort of dummying someone and getting them to go offline and ruining their exit on the corner before you actually want to make the move.
Yeah, absolutely. Keys again is just starting to pull the gap out even more and just kind of backing Johnson up into Steel and Skikluna.
Yeah, looks like Johnson's dropped a little bit. May have had a bad run through one of the many chicanes, one of the many curbs at this track. Steal a little bit of a sniff.
I wonder who's going to be the first to bite on the pit stops as well, if you think about it. There's 2 stops in this race. Is everyone going to, like these front people especially, are they going to divvy it up evenly and kind of do the, oh, if you pit, I'll pit, or like do you reckon there's the possible chance of the overcut?
Yeah, look, the overcut has been very strong, especially in sprint races in 1.9. So that would be my preferred option. But having said that, if you feel like you are losing a lot of time, potentially like Luna, oh, he's gone for the dive, side by side at the exit. Yeah, if you're Luna, potentially it looks like you are losing a bit of time. It may be an option to try and undercut Steele here.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've seen Luna absolutely throw it on the inside, drifting around that final corner. So I don't know how much the tyres can take that kind of punishment, but we'll see if he keeps having a go, or he might just be happy just to kind of sit behind Steele and get towed along by him.
Probably be looking at that top 2, just sort of drifting away a bit now and the panic will start to set in a little bit. So wouldn't be surprised if he tries to make a bit of a hasty move or dives into the pits to try and get some clear track. I'm not sure where he'd come out. The pack is pretty spread though, so he might find himself in a bit of traffic, not too sure. As we cross back to Sean Muller, just absolutely loving his time in the GTR. Look at him go. On the back of Rochford here, just...
Yeah, I can kind of see him frothing at the mouth really, and kind of like, wagging his tongue as he's going through Aqua Minerale. You can just tell he's really, like, look at the wheelwork, you can tell he's dipping into it. He's submitting the change form from the Porsche to the GTR for non-sprints absolutely right now as we speak.
I mean, he's having a great time, but I wouldn't go that far. Porsche, I wouldn't call myself a Porsche purist, but us Porsche drivers, we are quite loyal to the badge. As fun a time as Sean is having, I don't see him swapping away from a Porsche.
Look, it's okay to just admit that it's the wrong badge to be loyal to.
As we just see, Lucas Keys has gone for the early pit stop. That's an interesting choice. He did have commanding position, so interesting choice for him to pit first. Must have had a very light tank to start the race. So yeah, it'll be up to Luke Johnson now to just try and put in a couple of quick laps and then box and hopefully complete the overcut.
See, it depends how much fuel Johnson's got on board. Like, if I was Johnson, I'd just run the tank out. Doesn't matter if it's like 10, 15 minutes. Because Keys has got to chase this front group now, whilst also battling through marked traffic and everything.
Yeah, that's very true. It's going to be just... It looks like he probably will come out in reasonably clean air as he's exiting the pit now. He'll only have one car in front of him, but so he should have some pretty cleanish air to make the most of those new boots. But yeah, the overcut definitely, it does take a couple of laps for the tyres in 1.9 to get fired up and get the maximum pace. So it's a good opportunity for Luke Johnson to try and make the most of this opportunity.
Yeah, definitely. And like, I mean, the only, as the guy I was about to say, but then the marker in front of Keys kind of ruined my plan. I was about to say they're battling for track position, right? So he's just let him through.
Yeah, just gave him a lucky break there.
Because I was about to say he could literally just like hold him up and have to battle.
But yeah, now he's gonna just be able to get the head down, focus on his lines, and make the most of those new tyres. Racing for the racing team, Graham Hill, in the pits. Some juice and some new boots. Well, hopefully new boots. You don't want to accidentally not take new tyres.
Nah, why not? Just live on the old boots.
Cluna is past Steele. I'm not sure when that has happened. I might have missed that one. But he has cleared him, so now we can sort of forge forward a bit. Not sure how much fuel you have on. But if he's got a little bit more, he can punch out a few more quick laps. Oh, no, he's going to box now. So gets the job done, then decides to pit. As Layla Bell follows him in.
I was going to say, it would have been interesting to see Skikluna's pace to Johnson, but I'm guessing he kind of filled up for a very small stint. So I'm interested to see how much of an overcut Johnson's going to go for.
Yeah.
As well as Steele.
Judging by the looks of it, Johnson, he may pit this lap, but he may have taken on a bit more fuel. Potentially hurt his pace a little bit at the start of the race, but probably aiming to have fresher tyres for most of the rest of the race. And potentially a lighter car.
Yeah, most definitely. And then, like, especially as the race goes on, that's when that traffic comes into play. And, like, it kind of puts the... not necessarily a fear, but it almost puts in your mind that they're that far ahead up on the track. So you've got to push and push and push to try and catch up. And that's where mistakes kind of come into play.
Yeah, 100%. And yeah, when you're in the front group of these types of races, it's... yeah, you're always wary of pitting too early and getting stuck in traffic, but I think with the field spread here, it's not really that much of a problem. It looks like a lot of drivers are taking their first pit stop at about the 20-22 minute mark.
Yeah, most definitely.
See Layla Bell there running a little bit wide. And coming into post a hairpin, and Kevin Light coming into the pits, and Brian Kong.
And we still have Johnson and Steele running yet another lap. And we have... Steele has had a moment into the first chicane and has decided that sand on my tyres is what needs to happen.
Yep, there's the old iRacing cool my tyres off strat.
Did he just lock up, or if we could grab a replay back to a bit before?
It's an interesting place he ended up off the track. You wouldn't, unless he was sort of having a moment and tried to catch it for a while and then ended up spinning, which is probably most likely what happened. But yeah, it is a bold strategy. We'll see how it plays out, Connor.
Look, honestly, he probably just wanted to hear the Rev Limmy bash on the GDR and do a few drifts, so I don't blame him.
Yeah, just a typical Nissan driver right there. Never knows when he should be racing and when he should be drifting.
Drifting and delivering tofu, I think.
And now Jack Steele will have the eyes on. He's probably kicking himself knowing Jack. He's going to be driving very hard to try and make up the time he's just lost.
It's kind of the thing in these kind of races, though, is that everyone is in the same boat, driving a car they don't really know, unless your name's Lucas Burth. And for this round especially, as we jump on board with Steele, let's see what happens. So Pit Mike coming out. Oh, yeah, he's just lost it. Yeah, got caught out by the guy coming out of the pits and just lost it. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, had his line compromised a bit, and yeah, it's just it's one of these things at this track. The curbs here can bite you very hard if you don't hit them correctly, and then when you're offline a bit. That is what can happen. It's a bit of a lesson there for the rookies out there. Sometimes if you're a bit offline, it is the safer idea just to avoid putting those little dimples on the curves.
So we had Johnson coming into pit as well. Kranich is still out, and he's going to run.
Oh, Kranich will run to the end of the race and then do both of his pit stops. We know that's what's going to happen, but where is Keys in relation to Johnson?
Johnson's got him. Johnson's overcut worked.
Yeah, he's done it.
Good strat. Let's see if Keys has the pace to get back to Johnson, or whether Keys tries to overcut Johnson this time. It'll depend on.
Johnson made a bit of a mistake there through the second chicane. So yeah, look, Keys will have a couple of laps while Johnson's trying to get his tyres up to pressure.
Yeah, this is probably the moment for Keys to really pounce while Johnson's kind of on the outlap with cold tyres and they're not up to pressure. As Skick Luna's got the fastest lap too, so he's got the pace. But he's just been passed by Bell.
Yeah, exactly. It looks like potentially Bell may have jumped him in the pits. But Skick Luna was able to show his pace there once he got past Steele. Just briefly. So, yeah, maybe they are teammates, so maybe they can work together and try and forge their way forward. I'm not sure if there's going to be any team orders going on here, but yeah, we'll see how this plays out.
Yeah, Bell did jump Cicluna in the pits.
Yep.
So maybe Skick Luna had like kind of a bad stop. I don't know, but Bell's on a charge here, going up into what be realistically third right now, considering you have Kilby and Kranich who haven't stopped yet.
Yeah, they have jumped. Well, yeah, we did see Steele, who did end up off the track, obviously, who's dropped back, and who else was fighting in that top group there? No, that was it. So yeah, they've definitely made the most of that opportunity.
We're right on board with Hill, who is looking to get it over the back of Skick Luna and Bell here and kind of get in the mix.
Yeah, he can just attach himself to this group here and just let them pull him forward. Yeah. Be on for a very solid result today.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He's jumped back on board with Johnson, who 12 seconds off Kranich, but like Kranich can just run. We know he loves an alternate strat. It'll just be as he comes in now.
There he goes.
That's not very alternate of Kranich. I'm kind of disappointed, if I'm honest.
What are you doing, Kranich? You disappointed us. You've, yeah, we'll definitely be writing a letter to you, letting us know about our disappointment.
Yeah, as the back marker just sends it onto the... I mean, that's one way to get out of the way.
Yep. Yeah, it's probably panicked a little bit. Maybe just not that experienced getting out of the way of front runners, and didn't really know where to go, and thought potentially just getting off the track altogether was the best option. Either way, the front two get to keep battling away.
And it is proving too over the coming laps after the stops that Keys definitely has the pace to stay with Johnson to even catch him. So it'll be interesting to see if he looks to go for a move once he's kind of clawed all the way up onto that rear bumper.
Yeah, I did see him. He did go quite deep into turn 1 there, so he's definitely not afraid to go deep on the brakes. So maybe looking to spook Johnson a couple of times and just see if Johnson's nerves hold up. There's a big going on here.
Yeah, Kilby kind of just let them through. He was P3 on track, but he hasn't done any of his stops yet.
You can see Skikluna had to take a lot of the curb to try and just avoid all of that. Lola Bell, as we say, laps are very consistent. Best lap of 41.5. Well, the last one was 43, but that was probably because of the traffic there. But yeah, just very consistent laps.
Yeah, this whole group seems to be within a tenth of each other anyway, most laps, so... And they're kind of just keeping in rhythm. They've still got, like, Johnson and Keys up and, like, they're only 7 seconds off them, so... They're still keeping them within arm's length, so that if anything happens, they're there to pounce.
Exactly, while we're on board with Graham Hill here. Coming into Piratella. Nicely taken. Using all the track available through to Aqua Minerale. Got to really carry the speed, flow it through. Try not to be too stop-starty. Then again into the worst corner in the game. I don't care what you say. I hate it. It makes me almost not want to drive this track.
Nah, I genuinely think the worst corner in the game is all of Indianapolis. All of it. Even the straights.
You know you're wrong, but we can ignore that. Indianapolis is a goat tier track. Fight me.
You heard that, everyone in YouTube chat, and Ola, everyone, Brad's address will be down below. Go find him, because Indianapolis in the bin. As we ride on board with Lucas Keys in the Bruh racing entry. Bruh. I really need to get these badges of these guys. They really need to get them sorted out. There's no way these guys are in the AM class.
Yeah, all the badges are incorrect for some reason this evening.
Well, we're going to have to write some strongly worded letters for these incorrect badges. But anyway, maybe Johnson changed it, who knows, because after I sent him a message today about why he doesn't have a pro badge. But it's now out to 7/10, so the gap's kind of fluctuating a little bit, and they're probably within a couple of tenths each lap of each other. So if you're... What are you doing if you're Keys, Brad?
I'm just keeping on the back of him, letting him know I'm there. There's still 26 minutes left and another pit stop to make. Hopefully, if I'm Keys, I have a fair amount of juice on board to potentially perform another overcut. But Johnson did run pretty long in that first stint, so that might be a little bit tough. But yeah, I'd be just looking for a bit of a weakness as we jump with Jack Steele, who has himself in a bit of a battle here. Vintner behind and Johnston in front. He'll definitely be wanting to make some moves to get back towards that top 5. That Kilby that's just gone into the pits there. Yeah, finally taking his first pit stop after the halfway point.
He's definitely taken the long first stint seriously.
But he's going to be doing some quali stints for the rest of the race. Don't mind that number, 996 by Jack Steele. It's a rather nice model Porsche, if I don't mind adding that myself.
What's that? The smell of soy sauce all in my nostrils. Anyway, we're here at Imola with the GTR. This is kind of a good little gaggle pack here. So, like, we got Johnston and then Steele and then Vintner. We haven't seen much of Vintner this race. He's kind of been sitting there in the back of the top 10, but he's kind of... I think he even started out of the top 10, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think so. He's just been bubbling away, putting in some consistent laps and ranging his way forward. So he's just going to just see how things play out with these two. Maybe pick up some pieces after a bit of a sad moment potentially, but let's hope that doesn't happen. But yeah, he's definitely making some good inroads in this race.
He's a quite quick customer, so we'll see as... Oh, Steele almost had a moment there putting the wheels in the grass. And as they come back onto the back straight, we still have... Oh, and Vintner's pitting. Okay.
Vincent's looking for some more clear air. He must have done that early. Must have gone for the early stop on his first stop. So now he's looking for some more clear air just to try and make the most of it. Don't think these guys ahead will be looking to stop. Probably not for another at least 4 or 5 minutes. So maybe he's onto something here. Might be able to get the undercut on these two while they battle away. It is a good opportunity.
Yeah, definitely. It'll be interesting to see where he comes out once people are completing their stops. And if the undercut is working for him, he's kind of clawing his way up through the field that way.
See Ashley Johnston come into Piratella here. I'm down to Aqua Minerale. All the pressure from Steele behind. Handling it very well though, just keeping things nice and tight. No need to defend, just racing his lines.
Yeah, there's no need to over-defend fresh air, just as long as he can place the car in a place that allows him to, you know, maximise his speed while also maintaining track advantage.
100%. Come up the main straight to start another lap. Gets a great exit. Steele looks like maybe he just had a bit of a slide. Maybe touched the gravel a little bit. Dropped a few car lengths on Johnston. Jump to Tofik in the middle of a big battle here. Looks like we've got 4 or 5 cars here in this battle. Got Rotford, Tofik, Kidman, Murphy, and Muller at the back of this battle here. Oh, Muller's jumped at the pits actually. Maybe a blue flag involved here somewhere.
I'd love to get an in-game comment from Muller on how much he is enjoying his night. I reckon this is the best night he's had all year. It's like a Christmas party for him.
Oh, he's yeah, as you said, he's absolutely frothing at this opportunity. It's been waiting for this for a long time.
He has, honestly, and I don't know why he hasn't jumped in the car sooner. I mean, I secretly know he's a die-hard GTR fan.
And moving along from that, Tofik just eyeing off Rochford, waiting for him to slip up. But Rochford's a cool customer, you know, he's probably not going to make a mistake. He's just going to keep things nice and neat. Not going to make it easy for you. So we see Lucas Keys goes in for another stop. Going to try and perform the old undercut. Where's... Oh, no. So Johnson will still be out there in the lead. It didn't work for him the first time, but maybe he might be able to get the jump on Johnson this time round.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how long Johnson runs.
He did run at least a good five or so minutes longer than Keys. So he's definitely got the tyre life in hand. And how much he fueled up for this particular stint. Whether he can keep things nice and tidy. And also just managing that track limits as well. It's very hard to keep within the track limits at that variant at altitude chicane. So that's something you also got to keep in mind. But here we go, Layla Bell. Now up into P3 with Graham Hill in P4.
Yeah, it's one of them sneaky tracks, really. Like, there's some corners where the track limits really bite you, but like everywhere, as Johnson's coming into the pits, he's not going to risk it this time. So maybe he's not confident in his pace.
Yeah, just covering any potential undercut this time. He's going to want to nail this pit stop because the gap wasn't that big. So we'll have to keep an eye on Keys. I reckon it's going to be very tight on exit. I probably would have given it a lap or two myself, but maybe Johnson didn't have the fuel to do it this time. Keys get a pretty good run through the chicane coming down to the Ravatzes.
He is moving though, Johnson is, so but it is a long pit lane.
Very long pit lane. Oh, a bit of traffic there for Keys. That would have hurt his exit.
Johnson's just exiting to racing speed now, so he has gained a little bit.
Yeah, it looks like Johnson has definitely increased the gap quite a bit there. So potentially not a great stop from Keys.
Yeah, whether he just got moved in the box or not, we don't really know. But Keys had that guy all over his bumper when he's going into turn one there. So I don't know if like it was just a missed braking point or something.
Yeah, that's the worry when you end up with drivers that don't quite match your pace. Sometimes they might follow your brake markers and realise that I can't quite brake at this point and almost run into you. But got through there all okay as we see Layla Bell in the pits perform her last pit stop. Brock Godfrey here running in 16th has got a drive through, most likely for track limits, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm surprised we haven't had one earlier. So,
and Moyen with the stop go 30, that is a very unfortunate sign. Definitely not showing his potential pace here tonight, and the stop go 30 just as a little extra kick in the guts. So we've got Kidman on the back of Rockford here, still yet to make their last pit stop. Be interesting to see how fast Skikluna runs and how much pace he's got in hand. Kidman takes a little bit too much curb on the apex of the hairpin there.
well, he is quite a ways away in front of everyone. So I'd be interested. He's coming into the pits now, so he's pitting now. Oh yeah, by the time he stops, I don't know if he's going to be out in front of Johnson and Keys, but he could be thereabouts for the battle with Bell.
Yeah, I'd say he definitely, if he's kept his pace up, he may have made a little bit of time on them, but they were a fair bit in front, so we'll see where he pops out. See Johnson tackling Variante Alta. Layla Bell not too far behind Keys. A car that hasn't pitted in between them.
So who just came down? Was that? That's not Skick Luna.
Yeah, that's so clean.
Is it? Yes, it is. It is.
Yep.
So where's Johnson in relation to Skick Luna here? He probably will get him.
Johnson's gone ahead.
Yeah, he's definitely got him, but it's going to be tight with Bell. He's definitely got Bell.
I'll tell you what though, he's going to have to make that Nissan incredibly wide because Bell is going to be all over the rear bumper.
Yeah, definitely no team orders for the final stint of the race. It's gloves off now. Layla Bell goes for a bit of a drifteroo through that second chicane there. Well
There's
handled.
nothing wrong with the Drifteroo and the Nissan, unfortunately. It actually makes you go faster, adds an extra 100 horsepower.
I mean, if you talk to Luke Spurs, that's probably what he'd tell you.
Only when combined with Eurobeat.
Yeah, look, I mean, I don't know why we don't have Eurobeat going on in the background over this stream, if I'm honest. And I wonder if all the drivers have Eurobeat going on.
There's a fair chance they do. I wouldn't put it past them. Maybe a little bit of soft jazz. Get the mood going.
A bit of soft jazz. Ah, soft jazz Eurobeat. Maybe that's a thing. Maybe we need to invent it just when driving GDRs.
We'll get Mike on that, don't worry. Anyway, moving on. Layla Bell now hunting down Skick Luna. His tyres will be coming up. And we've also got Rochford in for his final pit stop. So the position should be cleansed up to about P7. It looks like everyone's jumping in now, so we'll see where everyone's at. Jack Steele still stuck behind Johnston.
He'll be sick of seeing the rear bumper of Johnson's GDR, I reckon, after this race. As we have Rochford is leaving the pits now. Okay, so Rochford's going to drop a few more spots just outside the top 10. I reckon this is going to be a real ding-dong battle for P3 here. And especially being teammates too, like the gloves have got to be off. There's no team orders going on, as you said earlier.
Yeah, there's nothing better than having a go at one of your teammates. Getting that bragging rights when you jump back in the team Discord and letting them know that you had them on pace. Especially when you're all in the same car. They're probably running a very similar setup, I'd say. So it's all down to who's the better driver, who can hold their nerve the best.
It'd be interesting if Skick Luna is a rear view mirror driver and is watching those rear view mirrors for that beautiful grey and blue Nissan sitting behind. It's actually a scary car to look at in the rear view mirror.
Yes, I have had a Nissan or two in my rear view mirror in the past. As I see, Layla Bell has got the endurance lights active, so she's definitely got the eyes on. Wants to make sure Skick Luna knows that she's definitely there. But she's also got Hill very, very close behind. So she's got to be careful. Doesn't want to make any mistakes. As Hill will pounce.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it's not just a battle for P3, it's also for P4 and 5, and the three of them have been close the whole race.
Yeah, it's been a great battle for the whole top 5 all together. All super close on pace. Looks like Johnson has had the edge on He's got a 4-second lead now, but this battle for P3 is where it's at right now. It looks like Bell is very close to Skikluna now. Had a great run through variant to altitude pain. Looks like Keys is getting that rotation a bit later at the final Ravazza and just getting a better run onto the main straight.
Kind of ebbing and flowing at the moment between these three. Like Bell through the middle sector of the track where it's twisty seems to be getting all up over Skikluna, but then he just seems to be getting the better exits onto the straights.
Yeah, so potentially running different setups here, different strengths, different parts of the track. Definitely the runs onto the straights, definitely in hand with Skikluna. Bell potentially may be able to just keep ranging back up in the middle sector and putting the pressure on.
Yeah, look out the front. Yeah, Johnson is starting to extend the gap. He's almost at 4 seconds to Keys now, so he's kind of just putting his foot down, really, and kind of saying, come catch me, Keys, if you can.
Yeah, now it's just time to keep in your rhythm, not make any mistakes, and keep that gap at about 4 seconds. But Vintner all over the back of Johnson. Looks like Steele has dropped back a bit, must have made a mistake somewhere. So Vintner it's now his turn to try and get past Johnston, which has not proven to be an easy task. He's clearly putting the car in all the right places, making it the widest Nissan on the track. Which all Nissans are very wide, which is probably why I've never gotten along with it, because I like my cars a little bit smaller, unfortunately.
I mean, it's okay to be wrong, Brad.
As I would say to you, it is okay to be wrong. There's, I'll
get Mike to intervene, I reckon.
I think Mike's muted himself, thankfully, as we see Vintner coming into the turn 2-3, Hayne through 4. It's a pretty good run through here. He's making up a little bit of ground.
Not sure how I should take you being thankful that I'm muted there, Brad.
That's all right, Mike. We'll discuss this later, as we've got a great battle going on here. Definitely looking like he's got more pace than Johnston, so it's just a matter of time now, really. Johnston can just keep the car in the right places, not make any mistakes, he can hold on. But Vintner definitely looking like he's got the edge. He's had a great run through Akmanarale. Gives him a little bump on the exit. Actually giving him a bit of a bump draft there. He's pushed him forwards.
He's giving him a little kiss going out there, just letting him know he's there. It's getting on here. He had a great exit, though.
Lights.
But he's turned the lights on. Yeah, he's turned the lights on. He's got the eyes on, knows he's wanting to push forwards. That Steele just ranging up on the back of them as well. As we see in camera 2, Hill having a look at Layla Bell. She goes defensive through turn 2. This battle's going on everywhere right now. Not enough eyes to look at it.
This is what you like to see, though, going down into the final minutes of the race, and there's a couple of battle packs here and there, especially for in like important positions. Just to keep of note too, Keys has dropped the gap to 2.8, so he's kind of accepting the challenge and kind of going, well, I will come and race you for the win.
Yeah, potentially Johnson just relaxing a little bit too much with that gap and when you relax, mistakes come into play. So you just got to keep your eyes forward, keep with that rhythm. But yeah, Johnson, seeing that gap go down, will definitely be feeling the pressure right now.
Yeah, absolutely. As we still on board with Hill, who's staring at the rear of Bell and Skick Luna. Still, the gap's kind of ebbing and flowing. I wonder if they're feeling any pressure at all as we go back on board with Steele on the back of Vintner and Johnson. Oh, almost got the run out of there. The car just decided to slide just a bit too much.
Yeah, just clip the curb, clip the second curb a little bit too much. Probably didn't have the car straightened up enough to just drive over it. It's pushed him sideways a little bit, but still very close to the battle. Well, getting very close to the wall there. Looks like Vinton's dropped just back a little bit, but still plenty of time to... Still a few laps to have a crack at Johnston.
Yeah, he's still got a few laps, but he might just be kind of sizing it up again, just slowly trying to creep back in to, have that go or have that lunge.
As he runs a little bit wide, hits the grass. So easy to do at the Tosa hairpin. And now he's going to be under pressure from Jack Steele coming through Piratella and Acrominerale. Has a bit of a moment on the curb there as well. So potentially those tyres may have seen their best days, and he's just trying to hang on now. So he's probably averted his eyes from the car in front to the mirror. So it looks like he's gained quite a bit of time through that chicane. Both drivers behind did extend it pretty hard through the chicane compared to Johnston.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of a moment.
Potentially got a bit crossed up, and battle resumed for Vintner and Johnston.
The gap is stabilising out the front at 2.9, so Johnson's might have focused back in. He's only got a little bit more to go, but Skick Luna has kind of gapped Bell by 1.5, so he's withstanding the pressure from the two behind.
Yes, Skick Luna definitely flexing the pace. May not have done the quali job that he potentially would have wanted, but definitely showing he had the pace to potentially run with those top two. So we see that Jack Steele had to try and run around the outside of Vintner there. Had to go a bit defensive, but manages to keep the position. Coming into Acrominerale, he's definitely shown a bit of pace through here. Runs a little bit wide, misses that apex, has to run off track. Wonder if that'll be a track warning for him.
Could very well be, but I don't know if he let off enough or not. As you have Johnson round for what would be the final lap?
Yeah,
Yep,
looks
confirmed.
like that should be the final lap. So these boys only have one more lap to fight this out. So definitely will be feeling the pressure to make sure he hits the curbs correctly for one more lap.
And that's it. They're all still in a position where if they don't hit the curbs correctly and have a spin, it's all game over there.
This track's all about risk versus reward. How much curb are you willing to take? You don't take too much of them, you're just gonna be slow. You take too much, as you said, you'll end up spinning, end up in the sand somewhere like Jack Steele earlier in the race. But like Johnston has managed to eke out a little bit of a gap here.
Yeah, he'd be thankful of not having the sweat bullets with the cars. He's been a bit of a wall this race, like a bit of an obstacle that's just kind of everyone's been attacking him left and right.
No, he's done great to hold the position he's been in. As we see Luke Johnson, as I called it, coming across the line, put on a very stellar race here. Managed to hold his nerve and bring home that P1. 2 seconds ahead of Keys as he does the old spin into the wall in excitement, followed by Lucas Keys.
Yeah, good drive by Skickluna, Bell Hill. They had great racing all round. Johnston, Vintner and Steele, another good little battle pack who's going to come through. Lai just sitting there kind of off them a little bit, not involved, but just there in case to pick up the pieces. And we have Kong coming across the line to finish out the top 10 there.
A very solid race from everyone involved. Not too many incidents. It was a pretty clean race. We didn't see a whole lot going on other than sort of what was going on in the first lap with... I don't remember who ended up off the track. It was that long ago, unfortunately. But Chris Murphy, not sure where he ended up. Maybe he ended up having a bit of a disconnect. Can't see him on the leaderboard. But yeah, pretty clean race actually from everyone involved. Sean Muller just wagging the tongue, having a great time coming home in P.
I reckon he'll go another 40 laps tonight. He just wants to be in the thing all the time.
Yeah, he's probably just going to keep racing. He won't even stop. He'll just keep going till the server resets.
Wow, what a race! It was very, apart from the first little bit there, as you said, Brad, it was very clean, very consistent. Had some good overtakes, some good battles.
Yeah, very very tight in the top 6 or so. Wasn't until the final stint where Johnson was able to sort of just gap Keys there. But yeah, all the drivers quite matched on pace.
Definitely what something like this spec series will do. As we look at the leaderboard, so we have Johnson finishing up in P1. Good drive by him. Held his nerve with Keys finishing in P2. Skickluna rounds out with P3. You have Bell in P4, Hill in P5, Johnston in P6, Vintner in P7, Lai in P8, Kong in P9, and Costa rounds out your top 10. Driver of the day, Brad.
Driver of the day. Oh, it's I'm actually quite a kind of hard to choose between Johnson and Skickluna. Both Skickluna made up quite a lot of positions today, but Johnson also put on a very good performance to jump Keys in the first pit stop. So I think I've got to put my money on Johnson. He's put on quite a good show. I'm not sure if that's his first sprint win as well. Potentially, maybe.
Potentially, if so, good car to do it in and good way to start off the Spec Series. The Simagic Spec Series. Well, if that's the case and everyone had a good night, thanks to everyone in chat, thanks to Mike and Mull and all the admins and stewards for putting on the event. We'll be back next week for, I think it's the boat, I believe.
The boat at Zolder next week. And we also obviously have the mainline sprint series tomorrow night, which will be at Imola again, but not quite so many GTRs, but still a couple of us.
Yeah, it'll be good racing tomorrow night. Everyone come around, come watch. If you're racing, watch the event after the event before. If you're not, come have a watch, see some of the best in the region, have at it. Well, thanks for coming in and commentating with me, Brad.
Yeah, no worries, mate. And Johnson will be waiting for that shoey for that race win. But yeah, it was great commentating with you tonight, Connor, and thanks to Mike for broadcasting, and thanks to all of you for watching tonight.
Yep, thanks to everybody, thanks to our sponsors, and yeah, we'll see you all again tomorrow night. Bye for now.